Marilyn James is suing former neighbor, 27-year-old business owner Ryan Johnson. Marilyn claims Ryan broke into her apartment and used it while she was on summer break.
Come to order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 287 on the calendar in the matter of James versus Johnson.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Miss James, you go to college.
Yes.
According to what I read, you rented an apartment while you were in college. And you had that apartment during your junior year or your sophomore year?
I moved into it in my sophomore year in college.
And then the semester was over and you were going to go home for the summer.
Yes.
Now, according to what I've read, sometime during that year, while you were living there during your sophomore year, the defendant moved in to the premises below you and started a retail business. Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And it is your claim that while you were away for the summer, the defendant not only used your premises, let himself into your apartment and used it, but did some damage to the apartment, and you want him to compensate you for the rent that you paid for the 3 months that you were away. You were away May, June, July, and you came back sometime in August, according to your papers. Is that right?
Yes.
The defendant has a mixed bag of answers. He says it's all the landlord's fault. That's what he says. So, tell me what happened when you first met Mr. Johnson when he moved in.
Basically, my apartment is the largest apartment. There are 3 apartments above the cigar shop, which he had opened. And my apartment is a 4-bedroom, and it leads to the cigar shop. And basically...
What do you mean, there's a stairway to the cigar?
Yes, I have pictures for you, Your Honor.
I'd like to see it.
Sure.
Just to give me some idea.
This is the damage that was also done to my apartment. It's in order of what happened.
Good. Okay.
Basically, that's the front door. When he first moved in, he came and he changed the lock on the front door. You can see in the picture. Basically, we didn't even have keys to the front door lock. I live with 3 other people as well as the other tenants above the apartment. And basically, he changed the lock and no one had keys.
So did you talk to him about it?
Yes, we confronted Ryan about it. And then I was also told that he was inquiring about my apartment because it led to the cigar shop. And that I was told that he said he was going to get my apartment. So I confronted Mr. Johnson about it, and of course he denied it. However, 2 days before I left, the neighbors moved out. My next door neighbors, which was a 2-bedroom. And Mr. Johnson moved in. So
to the 2-bedroom?
To the 2-bedroom, right next door to mine.
So far, is that correct that you moved into the 2-bedroom?
That is. Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
So basically, I left, I let my landlord know I would be gone for 3 months.
Okay.
So
now, when you say you let your landlord know you were leaving, you also paid your rent for the whole summer.
Yes.
You prepaid your rent.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I have those check stubs.
I'd like to see them, please.
Basically, I made monthly routine calls to my landlord because my landlord is elderly. He's very elderly. And sometimes, I don't want to be rude, but sometimes a little senile. So I basically made calls every month to check on my apartment. Ryan also knew that I was leaving for the summer.
When you say he knew, did you ever tell him that you were leaving for the summer?
Yes. When I confronted him about him getting my apartment, I let him know that I was going to be gone for 3 months, and I didn't appreciate if that was the case for him to say that. Exactly.
But you were coming back in the fall.
But I was coming back in the fall.
Another question. When you left for the summer, did you leave anything in the apartment, furniture, any clothes?
I took all my big stuff, and I took that and I put it in storage. However, I left like my bedroom, I put my couch into my room, and I locked my doors. All the bedroom doors, I locked them all.
Okay, so that there was furniture in the apartment?
Yes.
Bedroom set?
Yes.
What about any clothes? Were there any clothes
there? Were
any
toiletries? There were clothes, there were toiletries, there was food, there were things like that. I left my utility bills, my electricity and water turned on because I had a security system. And basically, I needed that to be on. So anyways, I left, and I made a routine call to my landlord. I think it was August 9th when I made the phone call. And basically, she told me she wasn't sure who, but someone had been in my apartment. So frantically, I called the police. I received a phone call back saying that the police reported it was a false alarm. I was at work, and I received a phone call from the defendant. He got my number from someone I had called locally. I knew someone locally, and they went over and they gave him my number. I asked Ryan how was my apartment, what was going on. I was told someone was in my apartment. He told me, he reassured me that nothing was wrong with my apartment. He said that someone had broken into the cigar shop about a month prior, and that he had caught them in the stairwell leading to my apartment, and that he and my landlord had fixed my door. I said, well, that means my door was broke, so what did they do? Did my alarm system go off? He was like, I don't know. It didn't make any sense to me, but I didn't want to pursue it. He asked me at that time, he told me, well, the landlord has made me building manager, and it would be in your best interest for you to allow me to use your kitchen. During the school year, I want to open up a restaurant. So I let the defendant know that, I'm going to school and I don't want to be in that type of environment. So I said, you know, we'll talk about it more when I get there, because I knew that he was in a position where he could break into my apartment and do what he wanted to when I'm thousands of miles away. When I came home, that's what I saw. I walked upstairs, and the door leading to the cigar shop had been kicked down completely. It was kicked down. I walked in, my security system was ripped out of the wall, the siren, the keypad, everything. My apartment, I had cleaned my apartment before I left. My apartment was filthy. My kitchen floor was disgusting. The counters were disgusting. They had put burn holes into the contact paper. It was like total disrespect. There was someone else's food in the refrigerator. Basically, my apartment was a wreck. I went into the bathroom, and someone had been using the tub. The tub was disgusting. There were washcloths, trash everywhere.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Johnson. I read your papers, sir. Now, it is clear, Mr. Johnson, from reading between the lines, you wanted Miss James's apartment, right?
Correct.
And it's clear that you were not happy that she was not prepared to turn over her apartment to you. Also correct?
Correct.
Then you say you don't know who was in her apartment.
Well, what I did was, I know how her attitude is.
I'm not interested in her attitude.
Okay, I understand.
Just worry about my attitude.
My landlord.
My attitude. I want to know whether you're saying to me now that the statement you made in your answer is true, that you don't know who was in her apartment.
I don't know who broke into her apartment, no.
I want to know if you know who was in and used her apartment.
No, I do not.
Okay. That's what you said in the first part of your answer, and then you sort of tripped over your own tie. Because then you say in another paragraph, where you probably forgot, the landlords are very old people, and I was paying rent on her apartment too.
That's after the fact.
No, that's not what you say after the fact. You said, and we were both paying rent for the same apartment unit, which means clear, it's English, that you were paying rent to the landlord for her apartment during the summer. That's what you wrote here, so I assume that's true.
That is true.
Well, so now we got it true. So let me see your receipts from the landlord for the summer months.
I don't have them with me right now.
Well, what'd you think you were coming here for, sir? An audition?
No, ma'am.
All right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
They pried open one of the bedroom doors and hung baby decorations on the wall.
You have a wife?
Yes.
She was pregnant at the time?
Well, I don't know what happened. Whoever broke
You don't
into
know nothing.
And later today,
I couldn't even let her mother know about the loan.
I'm not asking you to tell her
Okay.
mother. I'm asking you to tell me.
Show the judge the canceled check for $2,000.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Marilyn James is suing former neighbor Ryan Johnson for breaking into her apartment and using it while she was away.
Okay. Now, I assume that when somebody pays rent on a premises, they pay rent on a premises because they want to use it. Right?
Right.
And they would be stupid to pay rent on a premises that they didn't want to make use of, right?
Right.
So why would you pay rent on a premises during any part of the summer and not use it?
Well, we're getting prepared for a sports bar, and we weren't living. We weren't
That's
going
what
to
you
live
were
there.
going to prepare it for.
That's right.
But in the meantime, you were living next door in a two-bedroom apartment. According to the plaintiff, you have a wife.
Yes.
She was pregnant at the time.
Correct.
You have other children.
Yes.
How many?
Just one.
So you have 2 children.
Yes.
And you and your wife, right? And the need for a little more space because her apartment's much bigger than yours, right?
Right.
And you say in your complaint that one of the things you found when you came home was evidence of a baby shower.
It was baby decorations on the wall. They pried open one of the bedroom doors and hung baby decorations on the wall.
You think a burglar would make a baby shower? Hummer?
No, ma'am.
So I'm going to ask you whether you used any part of that apartment for a baby shower.
I did not use anything.
Not you.
Not
Your
me.
what? Her friends.
She might have. I'm not sure.
Might have.
The
She
apartment was
just second.
open. The apartment was
She might
open
have.
during the whole time.
Oh, the apartment shouldn't have been open, sir. She called you.
Yes, she did.
He called me.
I did.
You called her, she called you. You said your apartment's okay.
It was okay.
How could her apartment be okay if it was open?
Well, I don't know what happened. Whoever broke
You
into
don't know nothing.
Whoever broke into the apartment.
You
was
broke
trying-
into the apartment.
Judge Judy, I didn't break into the
Yes, you
apartment.
did. Oh, yes, you did, sir.
No, I didn't.
You want... I'm going to read you the last line here of your answer, sir. Currently, I am working out a lease to turn the entire second floor into a sports bar.
Yes.
Did you make that decision after she got disgusted and moved out? Or did you think about that before?
Well, when she called me and let me know...
Just answer my question.
After the fact, yes.
Afterwards?
Yes.
You're a liar. You just told me before that you had thought about moving the cigar business into a much larger establishment before she went away for the summer.
No, I was never going to move my cigar business anywhere.
No, you were making it into a larger establishment.
Well, a different establishment.
Before she moved away for the summer.
I was thinking about it, yes. But I never
That's
acted
what
on
I
it.
asked you, sir. You were thinking about it. Now, do you live in the 2-bedroom apartment upstairs?
Yes, I do.
Do you plan on continuing to live there?
Yes.
And you're just going to use her 4-bedroom apartment as the sports bar?
Well, the entire floor is going to be used as a sports bar.
That's a big plan. You mean that plan was hatched overnight? Listen, Mr. Johnson, what you did to this young lady was wrong. You figured she's a college student, she has no way of fighting back, she has nothing else to do but accept what you're doing and making her life miserable. You used her apartment, you, your wife, her friends, your family, I don't know who used it. You rendered it uninhabitable, and that's the wrong thing to do. You took advantage of her. You wouldn't like somebody to come in once you've got your cigar business going and say, I think I want this building for something else. To make his life as a tenant miserable, so he's going to move out because I want to turn this building into condos. That's what you did. That's clear to me what you did. It's wrong, and you're going to pay her. And you are seeking $1,700?
Yes.
Some of it in punitive damages?
No, actually, it's all in bills.
Well, that's very unfortunate, because I would have awarded you punitive damages against this man, because I think that what he did was by design. I think that it was purposeful. I think that he knew what he was doing was wrong. I think he knew what he was doing was illegal, and I think he didn't care. So I'm awarding you what you're requesting. The amount of your claim is $1,731.90.
Yes.
I'm going to get every cent that you're suing for. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's
Thank
all.
you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I feel like finally there's some justice served.
I guess she was mad at me about the whole situation, but I have no hard feelings.
I've tried to speak to the DA, I've spoke to police officers, and finally, Judge Judy, she finally gave me justice.
And now the next case.
All parties on Jones versus Thomas. Step forward.
20-year-old student Holly Ann Jones is suing her former friend, 21-year-old computer operator Ryan Thomas, for an unpaid loan to buy a motorcycle. Ryan says he paid her.
All right, let's get to what we agree on. Miss Jones, you and the defendant were friends a couple of years ago. He wanted to buy a motorcycle. He had no money. According to you, you lent him $3,000 on condition that he repay you.
Yeah, I lent him $2,000 for the amount of the motorcycle, and then he was to give me, in the contracts it signed that he was to give me 10% interest for 10 months.
Okay, let me see the contract. Anyway, he didn't pay you.
Yeah, and he ended up, he
42.
hasn't given me any money.
You want your money.
Right.
Plus the interest.
Right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You live on a trust fund?
No, not right now.
She piddled away $80,000 in probably a year and a half.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Holly Ann Jones says former friend Ryan Thomas owes her for a loan to buy a motorcycle.
According to your complaint, the reason you didn't sue before was because you couldn't find him. He kept moving. He went to his mother's house, then he went away, then he came back to his mother's house, whatever.
Right.
He says he paid you. Okay, so there is no issue as to the fact that she gave you this money, correct?
Yes, she bought me the bike, Your Honor.
Okay, so now it's up to you, sir. I don't even have to hear anything else from her right now. Prove to me that you paid her back.
Miss Jones loaned me the money because I had a friend that was selling the bike. I had money coming to me. I was selling a dirt bike at the time, and I was managing a restaurant in Meridian. I paid Holly back. 3-4 days after I got the bike, I got the bill of sale, was able to title the bike. If you read the contract, it states that
Can I say
if
something?
Shh, not yet, not yet.
if the bike wasn't paid for, she would retain title and bill of sale. I have title here. It acts as a receipt, basically.
Show me your canceled check for $2,000.
A what?
The payment,
Could you do
Ryan.
me a big... Just, shh, sorry. Since you didn't understand
sorry.
that sentence,
Okay.
I'm going to have Officer Byrd repeat it to you.
Show the judge a canceled check for $2,000.
There was never any canceled check.
How'd you pay her, in wampum?
I paid her with cash.
Show me the money order, withdrawal from a bank.
I didn't do any of that, Your Honor. It was to my attention that I couldn't even let her mother know about the loan. It was all secrecy.
I'm not asking you to tell her
Okay.
mother. I'm asking you to tell me, Mr.
There was
Thomas.
never any receipts given between the two of
I
us,
didn't ask you
period.
for a receipt, Mr. Thomas.
Okay.
I said,
I don't-
show me, pay attention, show me a bank withdrawal for $2,000 in cash.
I didn't have a bank account at the time, Your Honor.
Show me a money order.
Didn't give her one.
Didn't give me anything.
Shh.
Sorry.
Now, Mr. Thomas, why would you think that the plaintiff would sue you for this money and pursue you over the last 2 years, which she has, right?
Yep.
Called your mother, right?
Right.
Said, where is he? I'd like him to start paying me back. Does she suffer from any psychiatric disabilities that you know of?
Not that I know of, no.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Okay. You can't think of any reason why over the last 2 years she would pursue you for money. Shh. You have to let me finish my sentence. Why she would pursue you for money that you had already paid her back. Why do you think she would do that? Do you live on a trust fund?
No, not right now.
Why all of a sudden would she become psychotic and forgetful? Now you can answer me.
She's not living on her inheritance anymore because it's spent. She wants some more money. I don't know what she piddled away $80,000 in probably a year and a half.
Let me understand this. You were friends. Did you know at the time that she'd come into an inheritance?
Yes, Your Honor, I was there when she got her first check.
Oh, was that the time when you asked to borrow the money for the motorcycle?
Shortly after that, yes.
And she had all this money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have a canceled check, right? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. That's all.
Thank you, Judge Judy.
You may step out.
Girlfriend, 39-year-old test technician Laura Dunleavy, for 7 months' worth of living expenses.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 288 on the calendar in the matter of Congdon versus Dunleavy. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
All right, well, this situation sounds pretty bizarre to me, but let's see if we can try to make it more realistic, okay? You and your husband are separated in spirit, but live in the same house.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have separate bedrooms, but you just share this common space.
Yes.
Is that right? And how long has that been going on?
Since 1989.
89?
Yes.
Why do you live in the same house with him?
There is nobody else to take care of him. Both of his parents are deceased.
What's wrong with him?
He doesn't work. All he does is drink.
Okay, is this a private house?
Yes,
Who owns it?
I do.
Not your husband.
Not any longer. He claimed it over to me when I started paying all the bills.
When was that?
I think it was 4 or 5 years ago that he signed a quitclaim.
There came a time, according to your complaint, when the defendant, who was your husband's girlfriend, moved into the house.
Exactly.
She had been living there before for a while, then she left, and then she came back in January.
Exactly.
And she lived there from January until when?
We finally had her physically removed August the 4th.
That's not true, Your Honor.
When did you leave?
I left the house of my own accord.
When did you leave?
It was July, actually.
Okay, let's say July.
The end of July. The 28th, actually.
What you're suing her for, rent and other related expenses for the time she was there.
Yes.
So tell me what kind of an agreement you had with her.
We had no agreement. She was not supposed to be moving in. My understanding was that she came to visit him for a couple of days. A couple of days lasted longer. Things started moving in. Computer moved in. VCR moved in. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, well, she's going to stay here until she finds a job. She actually did get a job. I believe it was in June. And still didn't pay anything.
Well, what I'm asking you, Ms. Condon, is what kind of an agreement did you have with her?
We had no actual agreement.
Well, then how can you sue her?
It was just stated that I'm paying all the bills in the house. I am not going to support your girlfriend. She either pays or leaves. This was told to her. This was also told to him. More than once.
It was not told to me.
Just a second.
Okay.
You have to have an agreement. There has to be a dollars and cents agreement in order for you to sue her. Do you understand that? You have to say, look, if you want to stay, this is your rent. You pay $100 a month towards rent. You pay $50 towards utilities. That's $150 a month or $250 a month. That's your share of expense. And she has to agree to that. And then if she doesn't pay, you have a basis to sue her. Because what I didn't understand from your papers was you said to her, I don't have any intentions of supporting you.
Exactly.
And she said what?
Nothing.
No agreement.
Okay, but I didn't want her there, period.
Then you should have called the police. It's your home.
I did.
It's your home. And say, this is a trespasser in my home.
I did call the police. The police told me that as long as Michael is allowed to stay in the house and he has invited her, I need actual physical reasons to have her removed. I cannot just say I don't want her. Even though the house is in my name, I'm allowing him to stay there.
Why didn't you throw him out?
He has nowhere to go. He will die. He has.
Sounds to me as if is he still living with you?
He is still there.
You're in a very untenable position.
He has no family. All he does from morning till night is drink.
How long are you married?
Since 1987.
So you're telling me that you were really together with him for 2 years before you separated?
We lived together for 13 years prior to that.
So you've been together a very long time?
Just about 25.
You have no children together?
No.
Do you work?
Yes.
You own the house free and clear?
No. No, I'm making payments on it.
It sounds to me as if you're living in a situation that is untenable for you.
If I were to sell the house, he still has no place to go. He has no one in the world other than me. I've tried putting him in a rehab. He lied to get out.
Are you emotionally attached to him?
I care. I don't want him to die.
How old is he?
47.
Could live for a long time. You prepared to live this way for the next 30 years and have him bring women into the house?
No.
So what are you going to do?
I have no idea.
So you have a couple of choices. You've heard the term enabler?
Yes.
While you're taking care of him over the last 11 years, you've really become an enabler. You tolerate, because he knows he can come home. Bills are paid, doesn't work. Did he ever work?
Yes.
Till when?
Probably 88, 89 is when he quit.
What kind of work had he done?
He was a musician.
Is this the first time he's brought a woman into the house?
No.
How many times has he done it in the past?
One other time, and she did pay.
Ms. Dunleavy, did you know that they were married?
I didn't know positively, no. My understanding was that they had their marriage annulled many years ago.
But they were still living together?
Yes, because they had a business agreement with the house, and as far as I knew, the house still does partially belong to Michael.
I guarantee it doesn't anymore.
I understand.
I gather from your answer that there was a period of time when you were really a drinking buddy of his.
Yes, there was.
And that according to you, you've been sober now for a couple of months.
61 days. Yeah.
Couple of months. Good.
Yes.
And you're back on your feet?
Getting there, yes.
Where do you live?
I'm in a program right now. I live in Simi Valley.
What kind of work had you done in the past?
I'm a technician, test technician. I also have done bookkeeping, secretarial work.
Where did you meet Michael?
I met him at his house.
How?
My husband knew him. I met him through my husband.
Who buys the liquor?
He gets $35 a week to buy Carl's Jr. or whatever.
He gets that from you?
Yes.
But he doesn't buy Carl's Jr.?
Oh, he does. Just not very often.
Did you ever think of not giving him any money at all and just buying the Carl's Jr. yourself?
I've tried that. He goes through my purse. I've had to lock my purse up lately because he goes through it to get cash. They pawned his parents' wedding rings to get cash for booze.
Time for a change.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
They were two alcoholics that probably didn't know which way was Sunday.
I was out of control.
So I think you need a little help.
And later today,
Were you the one who asked your parents to have her move out of the house?
I was in a coma. I had nothing. I didn't know what's going on.
How did you feel about that?
It was a hurt.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Delight Congdon says her husband's girlfriend, Laura Dunleavy, owes for living expenses for the 7 months she lived in their marital home.
Responsibility is one thing, stupidity is another. That's true. And you're not helping him. Bottom line is, in addition to not helping him yourself, you're not helping him. He has absolutely no reason to stop drinking. You've given him no reason to stop drinking. So you can live in the house, I'm supporting the house, I'll support you, I'll give you spending money every week. It's comfortable, you take care of the house, you take care of supporting it, you probably take care of cleaning it, you probably take care of all of those other things that go along with maintaining a house, and he does nothing but drink. He has no reason to stop. You have to give him the reason to stop. That's what they call tough love. Sometimes you have to do it with a child. It's much harder with a child than it is with a 47-year-old man. You just have to get the courage to do it. Ever been for any therapy?
No.
Ever gone to Al-Anon?
No.
Probably should. Seemed like a nice lady, but not somebody who's operating in her own best interest or even in Michael's best interest. As far as your lawsuit is concerned, there has to be a contract, a verbal contract, a meeting of the minds. There was no meeting in the minds for Miss Dunleavy to pay a set rent.
Your Honor, she did say that she would pay. When she got her job, she said, I want to pay my own way. I'm not going to live here for nothing.
Your Honor, at one point I offered her money, and she told me to keep my money, I would need to spend it on Michael. So
there was no meeting of the minds about the basic terms of your arrangement. So that right now, if I were to say, well, she has to give you something, I would have to make up the contract. I would have to fix an amount, and you don't do that. What you do is you create a contract, and then you come to court to enforce it. Do you still see him?
I still talk to him, yes.
You tried to
We are
encourage
still
him to
friends.
go in?
Oh, yes, I have encouraged him, and he wants to start going to AA with me. He's very scared, like everybody is that is in his position. I know, when I first started going through treatment, and you're scared. You need support.
Were you forced to go through treatment?
No, I'm not forced.
What precipitated you going?
What precipitated me going? Well, I realized that I was out of control.
You had no place to live?
No, I didn't. I was in between places.
And you had no
just
job?
moved out. No, I didn't have a job at the time.
And you had no way of supporting yourself?
No, I didn't. Not at
See,
the
all
time.
those things put together are things that Michael has. He has a place to
Exactly.
live. He doesn't have to worry about supporting himself.
Right.
Right? He doesn't have to worry about starving because all that's provided for him. And whether Miss Dunleavy acknowledges it or not, that's one of the things that played a role in her decision that she was really out of control.
Sure.
Because she had no options.
Yes, sure.
You're giving Michael options. You can do that for a year, you can do that for 6 months, but 11 years is too long to allow somebody to feed off you unless you need it for yourself for some reason. You need to have somebody totally rely on you. So it's sort of this symbiotic relationship that you have. He needs you to physically live, and you need him because you need to feel as if you're taking care of somebody. So I think you need a little help. Got it? They were 2 alcoholics that probably didn't know which way was Sunday. But she doesn't owe you any money for rent. That's all. Case dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I would just like for everybody to be able to get on with their lives.
It's kind of sad that somebody can exist and not have to pay their own way in life, but that's, I guess, the way the world is.
And now the next case.
All parties on Cornett versus Tastrolu. Step forward, please.
36-year-old operating engineer David Cornett is suing his ex-fiancée, 29-year-old sales associate Mina Taskioglu, for an unpaid loan. Mina says she was run off by David's family while he was in a coma.
Mr. Cornett, several years ago, you were dating the defendant. According to your complaint, you lived together for a period of time. Is that right?
That's correct.
About 2 years ago, you made a loan to her, several $100s, on condition that she would pay it back within a couple of years. Is that right?
That's correct.
How much was the loan?
It was for $719.
And you were living together at the time?
That's correct.
And you agreed to return it?
Yes, I did.
And your relationship ended recently. You had a motorcycle accident, is that right?
That's right.
And during the time that you were hospitalized, you moved out of the house.
That's correct.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Parents sort of have a lot of nerve getting involved in your domestic situation.
They asked her to leave home nicely. She refused.
They were monsters.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. David Cornett says former live-in fiancée Mina Taskioglu owes for an unpaid loan to further her career. Mina says after what David's family put her through, she shouldn't have to pay.
Now, while you originally acknowledged that this was a loan, you say now it isn't.
That's
Tell
right.
me why. How does a loan become a non-loan?
A loan becomes a non-loan when I was left with a big mess at the end of that story, which was I felt as though I didn't owe him that money anymore, with a wedding dress that I was left with for a wedding that never happened, in addition to having a lot of grief that was added to the whole entire thing after his motorcycle accident when he was in the hospital. His family had given me a really hard time, and I had to move out right away, find a place to live. I was stuck with this dress. So I just felt at that moment that I didn't owe him that money anymore. I just felt like it was equal in amount for, the money that I had spent, equivalent to the money that he had lent me.
Well, had you set a wedding date?
Not officially.
So the answer is you had not set a wedding date.
Not an official wedding date, that's right.
So what'd you go out and buy a dress for?
Well, I bought the dress right away when we had first gotten engaged, and he knew about that. He encouraged me to get it. So we just kind of were leading it day to day as far as when that date was going to happen.
Yeah, but you usually set a wedding date months in advance.
This is true.
And usually people don't run out and buy a wedding dress immediately.
I was excited.
I understand, but you can't attribute that to him.
That's right.
So if you can't attribute that to him, we're going to discount the wedding dress.
Okay.
And if we're going to discount the wedding dress, then what you're really saying is you had a lot of aggravation at the end of the relationship, so you felt as if the aggravation balanced out the loan.
That's right.
The law says you can't do that. You did make a payment on this loan.
I did $100.
When was that?
September of '99.
Why, after all this time, have you pursued this $619 that she owes you?
What do you mean by after all this time? I'm not clear.
Well, you were in a terrible accident.
Right.
You were hospitalized for a long time. How long?
I was in the hospital in a coma for about 2 weeks. Then after that, a couple weeks after that, and then I insisted that I get out and go home because of the financial strain.
Were you the one who asked your parents to have her move out of the house?
I was in a coma. I had nothing. I didn't know what was going on.
So you didn't know that your parents took that action?
I think from what I understand, my parents told me that they were unclear of my situation because a death could have occurred, and they weren't really clear. So they asked her to leave real nicely. She refused. They said, well, you know, there's a problem here. There's some personal property involved. If you could just leave and come back later on when things get cleared up, we don't have a problem with that. Well,
how did you feel about that when your parents once you were out of your coma?
It was a hurt, but you know, I was in a state of mind that, you know, it was a head injury. I was in a state of mind that I didn't know what was going on, so I just kind of dealt with it. You don't have any reality concept when something like that hits you, so you just kind of tell what people, you believe what people tell you. I didn't know the severity of the accident until I came out about three or four weeks later. Then I realized some of the trauma that I'd went through. But
and then you were not interested in resuming your relationship?
I think I was very unstable. I was very unstable. Emotionally, mentally, physically, it was just a pretty traumatic thing.
So you were not of a mindset to resume your relationship?
Right, I couldn't make any reasonable decisions.
And you weren't resentful at all that your parents had her move out of the house?
I wasn't. Resent isn't exactly a good word. I would say I was probably confused, because at the time the relationship wasn't going good during times off and on. But that's typical for any relationship.
How old are you?
36.
Parents sort of have a lot of nerve getting involved in your domestic situation when you're 35 years old.
If they're the overseer of your property and taking care of you while you're in the hospital, I think a parent does have that obligation.
May I say something, Your Honor? His family did more than just intervene with asking me to leave nicely. They were monsters from the beginning of the story.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Go ahead.
There was always some kind of tension between his mother and I to begin with, but from the moment of his accident, their main concern while David was in a hospital dying, you know, I mean, I saw this man when he was in the emergency room, and he didn't look very good. Their main concern was his material things, his house, and me taking his things when I lived with him. You know, my mailing address was his house. He knew we were living together. I wasn't just shacking up over there. The fact that his family totally treated me like garbage was unnecessary. They could have handled that much, much differently, and they chose not to. They humiliated me. They had police come over to the house to try to evict me. I left on my own. I left with my dignity. I didn't leave with an eviction notice on my door.
Well, that's really unfortunate. I think it was probably handled very badly, and I understand your anger at them.
Right.
He's in a coma.
Right.
So that doesn't detract from the fact that there was this loan. I believe that you're correct, that his parents acted in certainly a precipitous manner in dealing with you.
Right.
But judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $619. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you.
Judge Judy suing former friend, 20-year-old waitress Amber Thomas, for airfare and expenses for a tanning salon trade show.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. Now, this is case number 322 on the calendar in the matter of Parcell versus Thomas. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. Parcell, what kind of work do you do?
I own a tanning salon.
Where?
In Bend, Oregon.
According to your complaint, the defendant owes you expenses for a trip that you took her on, some kind of a conference. Where was the conference?
It was a trade show in Las Vegas.
How did you know her?
She had been a client at my salon. Also, one of my friends was her boss at her job up there in Oregon.
So tell me how it came about that you invited her on this trip.
Last April of 1999, I had purchased originally 6 tickets. And about a month before leaving, I had talked to Amber about the trade show and what was going on. And she seemed really interested and she wanted to go.
What kind of trade show was it?
Indoor tanning.
Go ahead.
And she said she really wanted to go. So I said, well, look, I got the tickets.
What kind of tickets were these?
Airline tickets, trade show tickets.
Go ahead.
So anyways, after I told her the expenses, she said...
What expenses did you tell her?
I told her approximately the airfare was going to be about $135 round trip. I said we could upgrade up to first class for $40 each way, and she liked the idea of that.
Okay, go ahead.
So anyways, after I told her the expenses, she said she wanted to go. I said, well,
that was the expense you told her, the airline
Well, no,
ticket.
the airline, half the hotel, which approximately about $150. The car rental, which also split in half, about $150.
So she was going to go with you, not with the other 6 people.
She and I, there's actually four people that went. We got 2 different cars. Amber and myself split 1 car, and we split 1 hotel room.
So you stayed in the hotel room with Amber?
Yeah, there was 2 beds in the room.
Okay. And what was the hotel room?
$270, $281.
Was the entire cost?
The entire cost.
Well, what was half the cost?
You have a calculator? It's $270, $281 divided by 2.
136.
Thank you. 136. And $150 for the car rental. Is that her?
No,
is that half of it or the whole thing?
No, actually, the car rental came to a total of $137.40 divided in half.
What other expenses did you tell her?
The trade show, the tickets cost $79 per person, and I have an itinerary of what was included in that, as far as the seminars and the private parties. And
okay. What else?
Food and beverage.
You didn't tell her about food and beverage.
Well,
Mr. Parcell.
Originally, I told her, bring your money for the food and beverage. You know, she could pay herself, but
Fine.
she didn't bring any money with her.
Okay. Go ahead. What else?
Gasoline for the car and the tipping of the valet for parking and bringing her bags up to her room.
Mr. Parcell, you didn't tell her about those things.
No, I told her.
Okay. You told her, if I believe you, that she was be responsible for $172 for the airfare, $136 for half the room, $68 for the car, and the trade show tickets was $79.
Yes.
Okay, that's what you told her, maybe.
That was the basic expenses. Who knows what's food and everything's going to cost?
Right. So you went to the trade show with her. Did she give you any money for these things?
She said she'd give me the money within 2 weeks of when we left. That time came. She had subsequently gotten fired or left her job that she was working at, and she came in and told me. And at that time, I was stuck with the tickets. And I said, well, do you have any job prospects? She said, yeah, when I get back, I have 3 possibilities. One's at a bed and breakfast, one's at a, I believe, a piercing studio, and another one at a ice cream parlor.
Okay.
And she said that she'd be able to pay me back within 2 or 3 months from that time.
So you went to the show. You all went together.
Yeah.
And?
We had a great time. The whole week we were there, no problems, having fun. She never attended any of these seminars. She pretty much just drank and hung out at the pool and wanted to get marijuana the whole time.
So?
Well, you know, she kept on bugging me about it. Can you call your friends?
I'm not interested in that.
You know, that's what her activities, you know, were down there.
And she never paid you any money?
Never paid me any money. Before we left, I said, look, if you go down there and you get the certification for indoor tanning, which is included in the package, you can work at my place a few days a week to help pay this off. But she never got the certification, and then when we got back, she had moved to Florida.
Okay, Ms. Thomas, let's hear from you.
First part of Bill's story was totally correct. We had met at the tanning salon, and Bill had told me about the trade show and whatnot, and was needing somebody to work in his salon because he had previously fired everybody else who would work for him. And he asked me if I would, go down there with him so I could learn more about the convention and about the industry, meet the people. So we went, and the only reason I had went with him is because it was under a strict understanding that this was supposed to be a tax write-off. Like he said, yes, I had just lost my job, but
just a second. Tell me about that. Tell me about strict understanding that it was a tax write-off.
He said that because there was 2 other girls who went, and they went to strip at a strip club, and so they were paying him back for the tickets that they had used, because they didn't go for the tanning show or trade show or anything that we were there for. Okay. Him and I went, and when I went with him before I met him in the salon, he had told me about this, said, this would be a good opportunity for you. It's going to be a tax write-off for me because the salon is able to just write this all off. So I figured, yeah, sounds great. It just happened to be during my birthday. Thought, perfect opportunity.
Stop playing with papers.
And so we went, we went down there and, I went to the trade shows.
So what you're telling me, Ms. Thomas, is that there was absolutely no discussion of money.
Oh, besides food and alcohol. Yeah, I brought my own money for food.
That there was no discussion of money with him for the airline tickets, for the trade show, that you would reimburse him for any of this money, that you had lost your job, that you didn't have the money to give him before you went. That is not true.
Oh yeah, no, we had talked about the fact that I had lost my job, and that's why there would be no way that I'd be able to go on this trip, and that's when he brought up the fact that it was a tax write-off.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He was sitting back at the bar talking trash on me, and then it got to the point where he would mad dog people that I would be talking to, getting really possessive and really weird.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. William Parcell says Amber Thomas owes for a trip to Las Vegas to attend a tanning salon trade show. Amber says William used the trip as a tax write-off.
So what you're saying, Ms. Thomas, is that he told you that you would not have to pay for the airline tickets, the car rental, the ticket to the trade show, that you would not be expected to reimburse him for that.
Correct.
What do you think caused him to change his mind?
We went down there, and like he said, at first everything was fine, and my witness can attest to this. She was around a lot of the time, and she was able to see this. First, you know, like I said, everything was fine, and then it got to the point where he would mad dog people that I would be talking to, getting really possessive and really weird. We went to one party, and he was getting really upset that I wasn't going to go in there with him. And so he came over and was really upset. Well, why aren't you going in there with me? You know, I said, well, Bill, you know, if you want to go over there so bad, then you should just go. I'm right here. And Bill said, you know, I don't know about you. Maybe it's easier for you just to walk up to people and talk to them. But it's not that easy for me. And that's when I said, well, Bill, is this the only reason you brought me here was for introductions so that I can introduce you to people? So, I mean, when we were at the shows, I just walk up, oh, hi, how you doing? And he said, well, basically, yeah. So that was the end of our conversation for that night. We went one more night, and we had gone to the trade show that day, and then that evening we went to Studio 54. Lots of people were there having a good time. I went and, you know, was dancing on the dance floor with some other people. Meanwhile, he was sitting back at the bar talking trash on me. Oh, look at Amber's over there dancing with all those people. That's a bad crowd. Those people are a bad crowd. You shouldn't be around. Talking terrible to the people that I know from about me. Oh, you know. So anyways, at the end of that, he came up to me after the party was over. Well, if you need a ride back to the casino, then I'll give you one now. But I'm going gambling with these girls. By then, I was like, you know, I don't really understand what's your problem here. We came down here as a strict understanding that we're friends. You're giving me attitude that I don't understand where it's coming from. And by that time, our conversation got quite a bit heated, and I asked him if he'd take me back to the casino now so that I could get my belongings out of his hotel room, which I did. It got so bad to the point where his attitude was so nasty, I couldn't be around him. 4:30 in the morning, got all my stuff out of the hotel, and I went and sat down in the lobby for about an hour. I was totally crying. Somebody came up to me, and they just happened to be leaving and gave me their hotel room so I could sleep a couple hours before my plane left the next day. And so we went to the trade show the next day. You know, Bill was completely staying away from me, would not say a word to me. And, you know, he was basically my only ride to the airport, so I had to beg him to give me a ride to the airport, and that was fine. That was the last words we had said were the night before. Bill has not said another word to me since then. I got back to Oregon. I was back in Oregon for 4 days when I went and moved to Florida. And now when I was in Florida, I had heard through people that he'd be calling there, asking questions about me, talking trash on me, and my friend George had to tell him, you know, I'm not going to be able to talk to you anymore if you're not going to talk about business.
Mr. Parcell, I have a couple of questions for you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
When was this trade show?
It's June 21st of 1999.
And when had you purchased these 6 tickets? 6 packages?
The first part of April.
You went, she went. Did 4 other people go with the 6 tickets that you bought?
Out of the 6 tickets, only 4 people went.
What happened with the other 2 tickets?
They didn't go. They lost out. They paid me the money that I paid for the tickets.
Okay.
Your Honor?
Yes.
If I can add on a couple things that she had mentioned earlier. The part about the tax write-off, she has to be an employee first before there's any partial of a tax write-off, so that's news to me why she's saying that. The Venetian
Sir, are you telling me that when you purchased tickets to the trade show at $79 a piece, you did not use your corporate account?
I use my American Express card.
Is that a corporate American Express? Take it out and take a look at it.
It is.
Of course it is. Which means at the end of the year, when your accountant looks over your expenses, you see, you can't even keep a straight face. You see how hard it is? All right, so you understand that when you bought tickets to the trade show, that would be a business expense. But, Ms. Thomas, it's not that you don't pay the money. It's that you pay the money, but there is a certain tax advantage in using it as a business expense, which means maybe you pay, it costs you half. Mm-hmm. You don't get it for free. Mm-hmm. Do you understand that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
And what you're telling me is that the reason he took you was because he was training you to be an employee.
To see if it was something that I was interested in, see if I had knowledge on it?
Nope. Now I got a problem.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. William Parcell says Amber Thomas owes for a trip to a tanning salon trade show. Amber says William wanted to be repaid only after she turned down his sexual advances.
Okay. Very difficult to resolve this matter. You both make very, very convincing arguments, but...
Your Honor?
Yes.
I do have some tape evidence here.
That says?
It's Ms. Thomas calling me.
It was after he had been harassing me in Florida for so long.
Does this acknowledge a debt? Is that what it does?
No.
Maybe not, no. But she has said earlier that I was possessive of her and everything, and this contradicts that whole thing because I've had no way to contact her.
What am I supposed to hear on this tape, sir? I'm only interested in hearing anything that is germane to this issue.
Well, she said earlier that I was possessive, that I needed to be with her somehow all time, that I needed her to help me introduce me to people, which is untrue. And I mean, I have no way to contact her, but yet she contacts me and starts swearing at me and acting all crazy on the tape.
That was after about 3 months of Bill calling and talking very bad
Ms.
things
Thomas,
about
let's
me.
start with this. You were not in a romantic relationship with the plaintiff. You knew him strictly from going to his tanning salon, right? Mm-hmm. Why would you think that he would give you as a gift and then upgrade your ticket to first class, a round-trip airline ticket to Las Vegas?
Because the rest of the people were sitting in first class. I would have been the only one sitting back in coach.
Just a second. That's not my question. Why do you think he would pay for your airline ticket to begin with?
Your Honor, I was completely under the assumption that because I was supposed to start working for his salon once I got back.
Well, did you?
No, we had a terrible time down there.
Well, just
when we
1
ended.
second, that puts a different spin on it, Ms. Thomas. If what you're telling me is that you went there and he took you there, and the understanding between the two of you was that he would prepare you to work in the salon, and then you didn't, then you breached the agreement.
No.
If what you're telling me is that the reason he took you was because he was training you to be an employee,
to see if it was something that I would, go down there and see if that was something that I was interested, see if I had knowledge on it.
No. Now I got a problem. But Mr. Parcell, I also have a little bit of problem with some of your numbers, sir. Let me tell you what problem I have. I believe that she is absolutely responsible for the airfare, her own airfare. And that airfare is $172. Let's see if I can work this thing, Bert. I'm going to try all by myself, okay?
Okay.
All right. 172. And I believe that you, sir, are responsible for her trade show ticket, because you took it as a write-off. Now, as far as your rental car was concerned, the other two people that went down with you, the girls that went down with you that you didn't see much, they were going to rent their own car.
I rented the car for them.
Well, you rented the car for them. There's no question in my mind that you were going to have your own car because you weren't all traveling together, right?
4 people, 2 different directions.
Right, so you're going to have your own car anyway, right?
Yeah, I mean, I had people that I knew down there.
Listen to me. You were going to have your own car anyway, right?
Yes.
No. So the fact that she came with you and she rode with you, you didn't have any additional expense because she went there. I'm just talking about what she could reasonably expect to have to pay you for going down there.
Well, we talked about the car, the hotel, trade show tickets, and the airfare.
You had the hotel anyway, sir. Did you pay any extra for her at the hotel?
Yeah, there was charges for that I didn't use, services that I did not use.
Like what?
I have to look at it, but the phone calls, food that she had charged the room.
I never made any phone calls. I had a phone card that I used at a payphone.
If you use the hotel phone, and you even use a
downstairs
payphone.
of the hotel?
Just a second. Mr. Parcell, you have the hotel bill now? This would be interesting.
Yeah, I do. I have.
Show me the phone calls that you attribute to her. She says she used a phone card. There aren't a whole lot of phone calls on this. There's only one phone call, long distance call, for $1. One for $1.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Mr. Parcell, you had no additional expenses because she shared the hotel room with you. You would have done that anyway. You had no additional expenses for the car that you rented. You would have rented a car anyway. The only additional expense that you had, because Ms. Thomas went, was the airline ticket. And I think she should be responsible to pay that back to you, because quite frankly, I don't think that there was a meeting of the minds that you had with regard to what the contractual arrangement was between you as far as her paying you back. I do believe that there was some sort of an agreement that you had that she would come back and she would work in your salon. She decided not to do that. She evidently didn't like your attitude, or something happened down there that she decided that this was not going to be her life's profession. That being the case, she should be at least responsible for your direct out-of-pocket expenses as a result of her going with you. As a result of her going with you. And your out-of-pocket expenses as a result of her going with you were $172. The rest of it, you would have paid for anyway. Judgment for the plaintiff in that amount. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Retail salesman Philip Sheindlin is suing ex-girlfriend, 18-year-old Teresa Bailey, for a $300 doctor bill. Philip says she paid back $60 and then stopped.
Order. All rise. Down to case number 372 on the calendar in the matter of Sheindlin versus Bailey. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Mr. Sheindlin, it is your claim that the defendant, with whom you were involved romantically, had borrowed at some point $300 from you for some medical bills as a result of a car accident that she had had. You are no longer involved romantically. You claim that she made one payment to you. I believe you said the payment was $60. Is that right?
Yes.
And so she still owes you $240.
Yes.
She says no way. When did you start to date her?
In about May. I'm not sure exactly, but in May.
Of this year?
Last year.
And when did you make her this loan?
As far as I can remember, it was about June.
Of 99?
In 99, yes.
And tell me the circumstances surrounding the loan. Okay. She must have told you that she needed money.
Well, basically what happened is she kept telling me if we were talking on the phone, her parents were bothering about the money for a doctor bill.
What was the doctor bill for?
A car accident before we even met.
And what did you say to her when she told you that her parents were bothering her about this medical bill?
I said I can loan her $300, but since I don't have the money to give that to her, I'd have to be paid back.
And what did she say?
She said, okay.
When did you break up?
Not exactly. Something about January, February.
Of this year?
Yes, yes.
And when did she make the first payment to you? First and only payment?
A month later, about July.
Did you ask her about the money the remainder of the time? August, September, October, November, December?
No, I never asked her about it.
How come?
I just didn't think I thought she'd pay me back like she paid $6 back. I thought she'd pay me back the rest. She told me that she would. She'd always, even if we break up, she'd pay me back the full amount.
Well, I understand that, but for all those months, she never made any further payment. Did you live together?
No, we did not.
You saw each other exclusively?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'll hear your version of the events.
The hospital bill was not for a car accident. It was for a miscarriage, or as the hospital puts it, pregnancy complications.
When?
It was in June of
99.
Last year.
You started to date the defendant in May of 99? Mm-hmm. When in May?
I think like the 11th.
Where did you meet?
Him and his friends picked up on me at the mall.
And when did you have your first date with him?
Geez, I don't know. He called me the next day. I guess we hung out like a week later.
So that would have been, hanging out would have been, say, the 18th of May. Is that right?
Yeah.
When you said you hung out, was that a date?
Yeah.
Where did you go?
I don't remember.
We went to the movies.
And do you recall how much after this first movie date that you had any intimate relationship with him?
Only like 2 weeks.
2 weeks after that?
Yeah.
All right. 2 weeks after that would have brought you to the end of May, correct? Now I'll see your paper.
It's really small, sorry.
When did you go into the hospital?
The 23rd of July.
In your reply, you said this all started in June of 99 when I became pregnant by the plaintiff.
I got pregnant in June, but I was in the hospital in July because I was about 4 weeks along.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about this automobile accident that you had.
The automobile accident was like 2 months before I met him, like a month before I met him, something like that.
Right. Tell me about it.
I was on my way back from a friend's house with my best friend at the time. Her mom was driving, her sister was in the car. It was 5 o'clock traffic on a Friday night. There was a guy behind us, he wasn't paying attention, and he hit us from the back. It was like nothing.
Did you see a doctor?
No, I did not.
Okay, so you say that this $300 that he gave you was towards the medical bill for this pregnancy that you had after you met him.
Yes.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. Did you tell him that?
Yes, he knew.
So tell me what you told him.
I called him one day crying because I thought that I was pregnant, and I didn't know what to do. And he said...
Had you been using birth control?
No.
Why not?
Because I was being stupid, basically. I wasn't thinking, and
yes,
that was wrong of me.
Yes.
And he said something along the lines of, well, if you are, we'll take care of it. And then I started bleeding about a week before I went into the hospital, and I ended up in the hospital at like 4:30 in the morning because I was bleeding really bad and I was cramping really bad, and my dad didn't know what was wrong with me.
And is that what you claim he gave you the $300 for?
Yes, it is. And I gave him back $100, not $60.
Did you show him the bills?
I never saw the bills myself.
Why not?
I was 17 years old. My stepmom handled it.
And you're 18 now, is that
yes.
it? How old are you?
19.
Within a couple of weeks after you met, you claimed that you were pregnant by the plaintiff.
Yes.
Did you have any other boyfriends before the plaintiff?
Yes, I have had boyfriends.
Did you have any intimate relations with anyone else before the defendant?
No.
No?
Not until, well, it was 2 years prior. And it was one time.
I mean, there was something about him that you found irresistible?
I guess. Couldn't tell you what it was, but...
One of the problems that I have, sir, is that after you gave her this money, you didn't ask for it back in the 6 months that you continued to date, right?
Yes.
So what I want to know is, why now?
I wanted it back for a long time. I just never got around to going to the courthouse and filing the suit for it. That's basically, I wanted it. It wasn't a loan at all. It was not meant to be a loan. I just never got around to the courthouse.
You said it wasn't meant to be a loan?
I mean, a gift. excuse me, I'm sorry. I never gave her money for a doctor bill, and she never told me that the money I gave her was for the pregnancy of the doctor bill. If it had been for that, I will pay for that.
You know better than that.
Miss Bailey, the problem that I have is that you say you paid some of this money back.
I did.
Why?
Why? Because he was like getting a new job, and he was kind of in between jobs, I think, at the time, and he had just bought a car. And there was this thing that he really, really wanted to get for the car, and I happened to have just gotten paid, so I gave him the money. And the only reason why we're standing here today is because he's mad because he cheated on me and I broke up with him.
Now, you say that this money was used for complications as a result of pregnancy.
Yes.
That doesn't necessarily mean it wasn't a gift. Just because you had a medical bill doesn't mean that he obligated himself to pay it.
It's his baby. He should have to pay half of it.
That's not written anywhere, madam. Where's that written?
You're telling me that if this happened to you, you wouldn't think that...
This wouldn't happen to me, madam. I'm smarter than that. We're not talking about things that are moral. We're talking about things that are legal. You see, if two people are not married, there is no presumption that this child is his child. None whatsoever. If two people are married and the wife becomes pregnant, they are jointly and severally responsible. That means both of them together and each of them individually are responsible.
You know what it means?
Are responsible for the hospital bill or any bills as a result of this pregnancy. But when two people are not married and they choose to have sex, unprotected sex, the woman, unfortunately, is usually the one that gets stuck if there's a complication. But there is nothing in the law that says he is responsible to pay for half of anything until he has adjudicated the father of a child. And that doesn't happen until after a baby is born and they can do blood tests, but not before. That's the law. Now, that may be unfair to women, but that's the law. So you have to give him back, and I will give you credit for the $100. You say it was $100, you say it was $60. Mr. Schleffen, it's not such a big deal. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $200. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Don't ever date this boy. Ever.
Don't date her.
And now the next case.
All parties on Chavez versus Johnson. Step forward.
43-year-old construction worker Chris Chavez is suing former landlord, 43-year-old dance instructor Christy Johnson, for the return of a security deposit and rent after she evicted him without notice. Christy says Chris was constantly drunk.
Mr. Chavez, you rented a room from the defendant.
Yes, Your Honor.
And according to you, she unceremoniously told you you had to leave after several weeks.
Yes.
And you are suing her for the return of your security deposit
Correct.
and any prorated rent.
Correct.
Okay?
Yes.
And she said she was forced for safety reasons to have you evicted immediately, and that she's not returning your security deposit because there was damage to the room. That's what this case is about, right?
Mostly.
That's good enough for me. Mostly is good enough for me. Okay. How much was your security deposit?
The security deposit was $294.50.
And the rent?
$350.
When did you move in?
On August 8th.
And when were you told to leave?
August 27th, I believe it was. Not real accurate of the date when I left. I was too afraid, and a lot was going on.
Okay. Is it correct that he left on the 27th, that you told him to leave on the 27th?
I gave Chris notice in writing. First, I gave him a letter on the 23rd trying to work out the problems that were going on. And I think it was a day or two later I gave him a notice in writing and asking him to leave by Saturday, which I think is the 27th.
27th. So then you owe him some money for rent?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
Yes, you do.
Your Honor?
Yes.
He paid rent through the end of the month.
Yes.
And he left of his own free will.
You told him to leave by Saturday. That's what you just told me.
Yes.
What do you mean? How could he leave of his own free will, madam, if you gave him a letter telling him that he had to be out by sundown on Saturday? That's not leaving of his own free will.
Well, I didn't have to get anybody to kick him out.
Are you for real?
Yes. Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Now, let's talk about his security deposit. What was wrong with the apartment?
He had left all his stuff there, and that is because he got in a car accident while being drunk.
What was wrong with his room that you did not return his security deposit?
I had to spend my time packing up his things, cleaning the room. I had to paint the room. He started painting the room and didn't finish the job, so I had to buy paint and paint the room.
Because you kicked him out?
No, he did the job before he moved in, which was around the 9th or 10th. And we're talking 2 weeks later, Your Honor. And I'm asking for the rent to be deducted from the 1st of the month to the 23rd of the month of September because he didn't give me a 30-day notice, and it cost me money to pay for the rent while he was not there.
Get real.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Chris Chavez claims former landlord Christy Johnson evicted him without notice. Christy says Chris was constantly drunk around her children.
Go ahead.
I have a letter here that I gave him on the 23rd of August that outlines the fact that he had been
Can I see the letter, please?
Sure.
Drunk in my home for several days, had not gone to work, had lied to me, had totally misrepresented himself to me.
Just a second. I'm writing this note because it seems that you have a hard time talking to me, or maybe anyone, about what's going on with you. I know that you are having a hard time right now and invite you to talk to me about the big stuff in your life. Go deeper in your conversations with me. I don't want to live with someone who clams up and holds up in his room for days on end. I am concerned about you. This is not what you write to a tenant. You write to a tenant, you're leaving your garbage in the hall, your dog is pooping all over the stairway, you know, because you leave food out, there were roaches all over the place. You don't write a tenant that you don't want to live with somebody who clams up and doesn't want to talk to me.
Well, Your Honor, he didn't talk to anybody for
Who cares?
about 6
He doesn't
days.
have to talk about it to his soul.
Well, he lied to his boss. He told his boss that he couldn't come into work.
What difference does that make to you?
Well, the difference that it makes to me, Your Honor, is that he was drunk in my home, and I have 2 small children, aged 5 and 9.
No, you don't say that here.
Yeah.
No, you don't say that here. You said, I am also concerned for my family. It is apparent to me that you have a drinking problem. We have also smelled cigarette smoke coming from your room. I have lived with drinkers, and I know the symptoms. I have been in enough bars in my life to know the smell of booze in the air. You try very hard to hide these facts, but you're not fooling me. It doesn't say that he did anything untoward towards you, did anything untoward towards your children, came home and threw up all over your living room couch. It said that you smelled alcohol on his breath and that you know the symptoms of alcoholism.
Your Honor, the smell permeated the house. I also...
Then you made a mistake in renting the room to him.
I did make a mistake.
Then what a landlord does is a landlord gives somebody 30 days notice and says, go and find yourself another room.
I was afraid to let him stay in my house.
Then how dare you even suggest to me that you want him to pay September's rent because he didn't give you 30 days notice? Doesn't that sound ridiculous to you?
Not to me, Your Honor.
Well, it sounds ridiculous to me. It probably sounds ridiculous for the other 10 million people who are going to watch this program, I think.
I feared for the safety of myself and my children. It was very stressful. It was very scary. This man was drunk, and he urinated his pants and didn't know it. This man had sushi in his room for 3 days, smelled like a dead animal was coming out of his room.
Okay.
He was so drunk. I have receipts there that show that he, every day for 6 days, he bought a quart of Bacardi rum and Pepsi. He stayed
How did
in
you
his
find
room.
those receipts?
When I cleaned his room because he refused to take his stuff away. They were in the trash.
You had an obligation to give him 30 days notice, Miss Johnson. Was half the room painted, sir?
It was all painted except for the trimming, trim the edges. That's all I had to do to be finished with it.
I read your papers, and I understand that you were going through a difficult personal time in your life.
Yes.
You were going through a separation from your wife?
Yes.
Your Honor, excuse me, he lied to me when he moved in. He did not tell me he was separating from his wife. He told me
not true, Your
he was
Honor.
in a roommate situation. The house was being sold and he had to leave.
What difference does that make to you?
Well, because it set up a lot of lies. He misrepresented himself as an upstanding young man who worked constantly, and he didn't do any of those things. And I, after doing research,
You're a landlord,
I found
madam.
many of those
You're
things
not his
wrong.
companion.
No.
You're not his therapist.
No.
If he wants to tell you that he's living with 6 monkeys, that's his business. He doesn't have to tell you that he's separated from his wife. That information he doesn't have to share with you at all.
No, he didn't, Your Honor.
Right. You're absolutely right. But my question is, Mr. Chavez, did you drink a little too much during that period of time?
No, I don't think so. I wouldn't drive. I just stayed in my room, worked on computer.
Is what you're telling me is you knew enough that you had had too much to drink to drive your car.
Exactly. I did not drive my vehicle.
Your Honor, that's a lie. He drove his car while he was drunk. He got in a car accident. He told me while he was drunk.
Has nothing to do. He's not your boyfriend, madam.
No, he is
He's
not
not
my
your boyfriend. He's a tenant.
But he's dangerous, and he was in my home.
He did not do anything dangerous in your home.
He was bumping into walls.
Oh, Miss
in
Johnson,
my home.
I would suggest that you not rent to anybody else.
I am not, Your Honor.
Good. It's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. You throw him out, and you want him to pay the next month's rent because he didn't give you 30 days' notice. And I'm issuing a judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $350.50. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Osland and her husband, Michael Osland, are suing Judy's daughter, 20-year-old student Julie Wasley for the return of a camcorder and the cost of baby photos.
Order. All rise. The honest case number 377 on the calendar in the matter of Oslin versus Wasley. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Miss Oslin, you're really involved with this case. Is this your husband?
Yes, it is.
Your daughter had a baby. Is this your first grandchild?
Yes, ma'am.
And according to you, you bought a camcorder for her to record and memorialize the baby's first smile coming home, and you loaned it to her.
Yes, ma'am.
And she refuses to return it to you.
Yes, ma'am.
But what I gather precipitated this bad blood between you and your daughter, I'm sure there's a lot more underneath,
Oh, yes.
is that at some point you went to a shopping mall to take pictures of the new baby, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And they took pictures of the new baby that was supposed to be your pictures.
Yes, ma'am.
And your daughter and you had some sort of a falling out. So she went to pick up the pictures. There was a fight, so now you want the pictures and you want the camcorder. Daughter says the camcorder was a gift, and I don't know what she says about the pictures.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Okay. When the baby was born, was everybody happy?
Yes. She invited me down to the delivery room, and I was in the delivery room.
Is that right?
And everything, yes.
Yes, Your Honor, I did invite her.
So everything was okay. So the baby was born.
Yes, ma'am.
Boy or girl?
Little girl.
How long did you stay in the hospital?
Less than 24 hours.
So it was an easy delivery,
Very.
in and out? Or just out?
Quick.
Who took you home from the hospital?
My boyfriend did.
You're the boyfriend?
Yes.
And you live together with your boyfriend?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any plans to get married?
Not right now.
Any reason?
Just not ready.
Ready to have a baby but not get married?
It wasn't planned.
But you are living together as a family?
Yes.
When did you buy the camcorder? Before or after the baby was born?
Before.
And when did you physically allow your daughter to have possession of the camcorder?
It was, let's see, a day after the baby was born. My sister had just had a baby, too, and then we all went to the hospital after she had her baby.
So you saw her in the hospital?
Yes.
And is that when you turned the camcorder over to her?
Yes.
She's lying. She gave it to me a week before the baby was born.
So let me hear your version of what happened.
Okay, we went to the hospital, me and my sister, to visit, and then I gave my daughter, that day I gave her a Harley Davidson outfit that my husband wanted the baby to wear.
Okay.
And the camcorder.
What did you say to her when you gave her the camcorder?
I told her, this is to film your baby with.
And that's what you said to her?
Yeah, I didn't say it was a gift.
You didn't say it was a gift?
No,
According
ma'am,
to
I
you, you
didn't.
didn't say it was a gift, and you didn't say, I'm loaning this to you. You said, I want you to use this to record the
Yes,
baby.
ma'am. Yes.
Now, according to you, let me hear your version of how the camcorder came into your possession.
I was on maternity leave. I went on maternity leave a week early from work, and I went over to visit, and they gave it to me in a little Harley-Davidson handle bag. And they said that it was a gift. It was supposed to be for Christmas, but since I was having a baby, they gave it to me early.
And did you record the baby?
No, we haven't.
Why not?
We've had many photo albums. We're using the
Okay,
camera
so
more often.
Okay. So, now you're going to take pictures of the baby. How old was the baby when you went to take the pictures at the mall?
Almost a month.
Tell me how that came about.
She wanted to take pictures. We went to the mall.
You went to a studio?
Yes,
in the mall.
JCPenney.
And you have to pay for those pictures?
Yes.
Did your mother pay for them?
She paid for them on her check card.
So it's clear that the pictures were for her, right?
The agreement was for both of us.
No.
Probably for both of you. Probably for both of you. But it was clear that the pictures were her idea. She paid for them.
Yes.
And she was going to pick them up.
Yes.
But you went to pick them up. Tell me why.
We had an argument about a week before the pictures were supposed to come in.
What was the argument about?
Me going down to Louisiana for Thanksgiving.
No.
Just a minute. Yes?
She was mad that I was taking our daughter down to Louisiana to see his sister, and that she never gets to see the baby. And then I knew she wasn't going to give his family any of the pictures because she even said so. So I went and picked them up 2 days early, and I offered her the money.
What was the fight about?
It was about him not claiming her baby. He doesn't want to claim the baby because he doesn't think it's his.
I already have claimed the baby.
Shh, that's good.
No, I'm asking you what fight was about. It wasn't about Thanksgiving?
No, ma'am. It was about him claiming her baby. And she said, since I didn't like Chris because he wouldn't claim the baby, then I can't see my grandchild. And I haven't seen her since.
You swore against her?
Let's deal with the pictures first. It was spiteful to go and have to pick up the pictures 2 days early.
Yes, I know it was.
Okay, I think you understand that. And that precipitated, I want my camcorder back. Otherwise, if everything was going just fine, the camcorder would have remained with your daughter to take pictures of the baby because that's really what you bought it for.
Yes.
But when she didn't give you the pictures back, and then you got to the house and there was an altercation about the pictures, because then you went there, according to what
Yes,
Irene
I
said.
did. I got slapped in the mouth besides.
Give me the pictures, and that was terrible. How old are you?
21.
And you?
Almost.
23.
Other than this incident and the normal kind of things that you have with parents, especially that girls have with their mothers, you know, that's a very unique kind of relationship. It's very often this love-hate thing that goes back and forth as you're getting older. Usually it resolves itself when girls are about 30. So you have 9 years left.
Thanks.
But usually it resolves itself. It's a very bad thing not to talk to your mother. It's a very bad thing not to talk to your daughter.
Yeah, I know that.
And somehow daughters tend to stay angry.
Very.
Your mother was excited about your baby after she resigned the fact that you were having one.
Yeah.
No, she wasn't.
Well, you asked her to be in the delivery room. She came. According to you, she bought you a camcorder. She was interested enough that she wanted to have pictures of the baby to show around, right?
Yes.
So she was involved.
After a while, yes.
Well, it takes some time, Julie.
She wanted me to abort it at first.
Julie, listen to me. She's got a 21, then maybe 20-year-old, beautiful daughter who is intelligent, with hopefully a bright future, who comes to her and says, I'm pregnant, I'm going to have this baby, I'm going to live with my boyfriend, we're not ready to commit to marriage, but we're going to live together. You think she should throw a party? No. Julie, I guarantee you, if your daughter comes to you and says the same thing, you know what you're going to do? You're going to be nuts. Because that's the natural thing. I mean, parents only want what's best for their kids. And certainly this baby at your age, being not married, is complicating your very young life. You don't expect your mother to be ecstatic about that.
No.
But ultimately, she came to accept it. You have the pictures of the baby?
Not with, no.
It's a very easy thing to make copies of those pictures. Have you done that?
No.
Will you do that?
For her?
Yes.
I don't want her having them.
Julie, you haven't heard anything that I said, darling.
Your Honor,
Okay.
I don't want the pictures. I just want the money. I want to be done with
Well,
this.
how much were the pictures?
They were $182.47.
You were absolutely entitled to the money for the pictures.
Yes,
I think
want
that the
money.
camcorder is a different story. I honestly believe that the camcorder was given to your daughter, and that the reason you now say you want it back is because of this terrible altercation with regard to these pictures and the fight that you had, which should have been over a long time ago. But Julie, you're still angry.
Yes, I am.
Get unangry.
I'm more hurt.
Join the crowd.
Parent, listen to me. Parents aren't perfect. Doesn't mean that your mother loved you any less. She came around eventually, right?
Yes.
Came around.
It's been going on for 8 years now, though.
Practically since you became a teenager.
Yes.
Wait until your daughter turns 13.
Yeah, I can't wait. You know what, Your Honor, I
Trust-
can't wait.
Trust me. You'll see your daughter doing certain things. You'll try to discourage her from doing those things, and there's that friction. And it's usually with mothers who had made sufficient number of mistakes to say, listen, I made those mistakes. I don't want my daughter to do what I did. And then there is a clash, and it usually doesn't get over for a long time. So try to get unangry. Parents aren't perfect. Kids aren't perfect. There is that unconditional love you're supposed to have. And equally as important, you don't deprive your daughter of a grandparent. Children, little children, like that community of affection.
His family is big enough.
Do you know what the divorce rate is in this country?
Very high.
50%. Do you know what that percentage goes to with people who are living together without benefit of marriage, who can't make up their minds? Probably 90%. So there is a 90% chance that you and this young man will not be together in 10 years. She'll always be your mother. And after the two of you have gone your own separate ways, hopefully amicably, because there's a 90% chance that that's going to happen, maybe your daughter will see her paternal family. Maybe. Because usually when two people separate, there's usually lots of hostility. There's lack of child support, there's lack of all those other things. So usually it's not so amicable. But she'll always be your mother. So what you're saying now is very youthful. You know, he's got a big enough family. I've heard that before. You only have one mother. And she's not perfect. I guarantee you she's not perfect. But you got to get the mad off. It eats you up inside. Try at least. Anyway, pay for the pictures, $182.47. Maybe you can go out for a cup of coffee. That's it.
Parties are excused. You can step out.
She's not going to see her granddaughter, and we're not going to have a relationship anymore.
I think it turned out good. At least I got the money back for the pictures. As far as not seeing my granddaughter, I will.
And now the next case.
All parties on Bryant versus Williford. Step forward, please.
41-year-old homemaker Loretta Bryant is suing 40-year-old surgical technician Lori Williford. Loretta claims Lori's son, 17-year-old Matthew, assaulted her daughter with an ashtray.
Miss Bryant, you and the defendant at one point shared a home together.
No, ma'am. It was my daughter, Rhiannon.
Do you know anything about
I'm suing
this?
in behalf of my daughter because she's a minor child.
Okay, why don't you have a seat, please? Step up. You shared a home with the defendant.
Yes, ma'am, I did. Him and his girlfriend, Melissa.
Are you the mother, too?
I'm the mother, too.
Would you sit down? Stand up here. According to your complaint, an incident occurred where the defendant assaulted you with an object.
An ashtray.
Go ahead.
They had stayed out all night, him and his friend. Melissa was very worried. They came in. Matt proceeded to tell her that he did not love her, he did not want to be with her, and he wanted to move out. After we had spent all this money on getting a house, his friend was being very rude to me. He was calling me names, and I kicked him out of my house.
How did you do that?
I struck him in the head a few times.
With what?
And the phone. He had the phone in his hands.
So you struck his friend?
Yeah, his friend. I made him leave. I went back to my room. I heard one loud sound, and that was when ashtray hit my door. It made a hole in my door about this big around. I opened the door, and the other ashtray hit me.
Where did the ashtray hit you?
It hit me on my arm, right here. My arm immediately swelled up. The police came. They said, seek medical attention. We did not press charges because that night, Matt had said he was sorry and that he was going to pay my hospital bill.
How much was your hospital bill?
It was $225.
Was that an emergency room visit?
Yes, it was not the hospital. It was a place called EmergiCare, and it's just like a little facility where you go and reach medical attention right then and there.
Okay. What other bills did you have as a result of your injured arm?
I was out of work.
For how long?
2 days.
What was your wage each day? What did you take home each day?
I would say anywhere from $32 to $36 for both days together.
For both days? Let's hear it.
All right. I left the night before because of drug use has been going on. And I come back, and it was about 9 o'clock in the morning, me and my friend Jonathan. Her and Jonathan started saying something to each other, and he said some vulgar stuff to her, and she hit him in the head with the phone. And I told her to get out my face. She went in the red room, and I was very frustrated.
So she got out of your face?
Yeah, right.
As you had requested?
Yes, ma'am.
Pick it up from there.
All right. I picked up an ashtray and threw it towards the door.
What'd you do that for?
I was mad.
Okay,
And
so you hit the door.
I hit the door, and I picked up another one and threw it the same direction. The door was closed out, and then she opened the door and the ashtray hit her. I freaked out because I wasn't trying to hurt nobody. And I took off out the door because I didn't know what to do.
So then you admit that you threw an ashtray.
Yes, ma'am.
The ashtray hit her in her arm.
Yes, ma'am.
You got scared and you left.
Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't you pay the medical bill?
I did not have that kind of money at the time.
You want to say something? Yes. Go ahead.
I talked with Miss Bryant. She called me a few weeks after this happened, and I told her, I said, I do not have that kind of money. I'll be willing to work with you, but I don't have that kind of money. And she was just very ugly, cussing me out, and I said, whatever you got to do with this, go ahead and do, because she was very vulgar to talk with.
No, ma'am, that's not how it happened. He agreed to pay her bill. 2 days later, he's like, I'm not paying it, do whatever it is you got to do. I called her on the phone, and yes, we did have some words, but she was just as heated as I was because we were both frustrated at the situation. I did not cuss her out. That's a barefaced lie.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Why didn't you pay this bill?
I didn't feel responsible to have to pay it.
Why?
It wouldn't ever have occurred if she wouldn't have started it.
Can I see those ashtrays, please, Bert? Thank you. Even though you didn't intend to hurt her, you intended to vent your frustration at the door, right?
Correct.
Which is the ashtray that hit you?
The blue one. It had charcoal on it.
Just a minute. That's a pretty heavy weapon. You know, you could kill somebody with that?
I was not thinking at the time.
Right. Well, if you're not thinking, then you're acting stupid. And if you're acting stupid and you cause injury to somebody, you have to pay for it, right?
Yes.
Ah, I'm going to say one thing to you. The person that you hit on the head with the telephone would have the same complaint about you. And the first person to use any physical force, was who?
That was me.
Right. Not smart. So the violence in that, the physical violence, Ms. Bryant, was started really by your daughter. Not against him, but against somebody else. You are clearly responsible for the injury to her arm. I don't have your friend Jonathan here who was clobbered over the head, so I don't have to deal with that. Was there any repercussion as a result of that assault?
No, ma'am.
Jonathan just took care of the bump on his head, is that right?
Jonathan had a lot of personal problems anyway.
Well, being hit on the head with a telephone didn't help. All right, the bills that I see here, are, together with the medical bill, $261. So what do you think that Matt should pay?
I think Matt should at least pay the bills. Pay what he agreed to pay.
Absolutely right. And for your day's wages. $261, judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
Parties are excused, you may step out.
Driving.
Lying.
And according to you, you got blotto drunk at the party.
Yes.
First dumb thing. And you went out to your car and passed out. And at some point, Ms. Thomas came out of the party, and she drove the car home.
Yes.
That was her intention.
Yes.
And she got into the driver's seat, started the car, proceeded on her way, got into a car accident, and you want her to pay for the damage to the car.
Yes.
Okay. How long have you known Ms. Thomas?
She's a mutual friend of a friend that we both know.
Did you make arrangements with her before you got to the party about what was going to happen if somebody drank too much?
That was already organized. My witness.
No, you organized it. You were driving your car.
Yeah, there were designated drivers there at the party because she had a plan for them to be there.
Okay. Now, when Miss Thomas came out, she got into the driver's seat. Were you aware that she was there?
I was asleep.
And what was the next thing that happened?
I woke up in an accident. I don't know what happened.
You don't know what happened?
I know we woke up in an accident. I knew that she shouldn't have ran the stop sign.
Well, you don't know anything because you were, according to you, dead drunk, right?
Yeah, I was asleep.
Drunk? All right, so you don't really know what happened. Is that right?
No, I don't know how she got into an accident.
You don't know what happened. You don't remember anything from the time you made your way out of the party and collapsed in the car, according to you, until the time you were in the accident and jolted from the accident.
Yes.
So, Miss Thomas, I'm going to turn to you. According to you, you came out of the party. Had you been drinking?
No. I had a drink. Let me correct myself. I had drunk prior to the party because they had a gathering before we went to the party.
What did you have to drink before you went to the party?
I had a cup of Hennessy, 1 cup of cognac Hennessy.
And you had nothing to drink at the party?
At the party, no, I didn't drink at all.
Why?
Because in the party, I didn't have really that much money on me. And she had a big jar of some kind of drink with blue juice or so forth. I don't know what it was. I tasted, but I didn't actually, have a drink on my own.
I don't care whose drink it was. You did have something to drink at the party.
Yeah.
You didn't have your drink, you had her drink.
Right.
Her blue juice.
Yeah, whatever.
What happened when you got to the car, Miss Thomas?
When we got to the car, we sat in the car for a little while.
Who's we?
Me, her, and 2 of her cousins. We was talking. We had a smoke break. We got to the car. We smoked. They smoked or whatever. We
smoked what?
We smoked. Cigarette smoke. Cigarette.
Anything other than cigarettes?
No, ma'am. Oh. No. Okay. And we all talked. We all talked in the car and so forth. And then after that, she was sleeping in the passenger seat. In a club several times, she told me at the table.
Who told you?
Keisha. She told me, "Can you drive?" She kept on making. She kept on making suggestions and asking me questions. Could I drive? On our way going there, she said that she was really feeling the liquor or so forth. She was like, "You might have to drive home." So I kind of set in my mind that I'm not going to drink too much, even though she did ask me did I have license. I told her I did not have license.
Okay.
I said, "Do you have license?" She said, "No, she don't have license neither."
I had a license since I was 16 years old, and I was always told, do not let anyone drive your car without a license.
But you did not have a license.
She did not.
I didn't have a license, and I made this aware to her that I didn't have a license.
So if you did not have a license, Miss Thomas, there came a point when you got into the car and started to drive the car.
Yes, ma'am.
Want to explain to me why?
I drove home because I didn't have a way home, and we were the only ones left at the party at the time. Prior to me driving home, she kept making it secure for me to drive home.
Just a minute. You get into the car. She's asleep at that time. Pay attention to me, Miss Thomas. You get into the car. Is she asleep in the car?
Okay, she was asleep in the car, but when it was time for us to get ready to go, that I had her keys. Ma'am, my thing is, if I didn't have permission to drive your car, how did I get your keys?
No, just a minute. Don't ask me any questions.
That's what I'm saying. How did I get your keys?
Just listen to me.
They were in valet
Listen to
parking.
me. You got into the car, into the driver's seat of the car. Did you, when you got into the car, before you started the car, have any conversation with her at all?
Yes, I had a conversation with her. She started throwing up. I had turned to her, and I opened the passenger door. I leaned and pushed her head out the door so she could throw up out the door and not into her car. I was trying to help her out. I wiped her with one of her children's diaper towels. I helped her put her seatbelt on, and I asked her, was you ready? She said, yeah, I'm ready, let's go. Them was her words.
Okay. Tell me about the accident.
Okay, the accident prior to us on our way home, I had asked her, could I make a stop? She was intoxicated, I don't know if she remembers, so forth. However, I'm coming up 55th. I stopped at the stop sign. I looked both ways. I didn't see no car. As I hit, going on over to the intersection, bam, a car out of where it came from, I don't know. I didn't see no lights. I didn't see anything. It just hit us. Bam. I shook her, and I just told her that these gentlemen has just ran into us, that we had a car accident. What? Or whatever, she pops up out of her, she's like, we have a car, whatever. So by us being in the middle of the street, I backed the car up, and I parked it where we would be out the middle of the street. So here come these two gentlemen. They all ranching and raving. She's mad that we was in an accident. These gentlemen, we two women out here, it's 2, 3 in the morning. We're by ourselves, and it's two men, and then they ranching and raving. I don't know what they're going to try to do to us. I don't know if they're going to bring any harm to us. So me, with my mouth, I'm not going to let nobody, do nothing, no harm to me. I said to them, no, it's not my fault. That says, how everyone, you get in an accident, they want to blame you. I'm trying to calm her down to explain to her what went on. I'm trying to explain to these gentlemen what went on. Thank God that we was over somewhere where I had family. So I asked her, I said, Keisha, come on with me and get out the car for the police or anybody. We involve the police or however. You're drunk, and they smell the liquor. She refused to leave. She refused anything. She would not agree with me at all.
Fine. So the police arrived at the scene?
No, I had left the scene.
Yeah, she left when the police
I left because she refused to help.
You left the scene?
Yes, I left the scene and went to my cousin's house.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
They gave you a ticket for running a stop sign?
No, they gave me a ticket for no license.
She didn't even give the police her real name.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kaikisha Jones says her former friend, Tanya Thomas, owes her for wrecking her car. Tanya says it was the other driver's fault.
So you left your friend alone at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, ma'am.
In the car with two men.
Two men that she was talking to. That she was made herself accountable to.
You left. And you didn't leave and go and call the police because you said you didn't know what these two men were going to do to you. You said that to me a moment ago. You didn't know whether they were going to cause any harm to you. So you leave your friend who's drunk with these two strangers, even though you were in fear, and you didn't go immediately to call the police?
No, ma'am.
Well, that was a big mistake. I mean, there were a lot of mistakes here, but that was a mistake. Don't you see that?
Okay, reason why I didn't call the police because the gentleman had already called the police prior to me calling, before I could call.
I'm not ready for you yet.
Okay.
So you heard the two gentlemen calling the police?
I heard, yes, ma'am.
And you took off?
No.
Yes, you did. You left.
No.
Hey, you left. You didn't wait for the police. Miss Thomas, you didn't wait for the police.
Yes. All right, yes.
Did you come back to the car?
Yes, ma'am.
How much later?
Right afterwards.
Were the police there when you arrived?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They arrived at the same time I arrived.
Okay. Did they give you a breathalyzer test?
No, ma'am.
But they gave you a ticket for running a stop sign?
No, they gave me a ticket for no license.
But not for running the stop sign?
No, ma'am.
She didn't even give the police her real name because she don't have a license.
Well, they must have asked for her license.
She don't have a, that's what they wrote her a ticket for, not having a license.
Well, that's what I'm saying to you.
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Jones, let me see a picture of the car, please. Now you can step up. Now I'll hear you. Tell me your name.
I'm Loretta Smith.
Ms. Smith, how are you related to, or how do you know these two young women?
This is my cousin, and it was my son's birthday party. And I had already had designated drivers, and Miss Thomas was not one of my designated drivers. By me being a mother, there is no way I would let Miss Thomas get behind the car without no driver's license and and she was drinking.
How many children do you have?
Have one.
How old is your child?
She'll be one on the 28th.
Where was she that night?
She was at my auntie's house.
At your aunt's house?
Yeah, overnight.
How come you drank so much? Make you sick.
It was a surprise party, and we were just having a good time. I had 2 drinks. I'm not a drinker, so I had 2 drinks, and it was way past my limit. Way past.
You feel as if you owe any responsibility for this accident at all?
No. There were designated drivers there. Her services were not
And I
needed.
had designated drivers
Now,
there.
did you have, what's your last name?
I'm Smith.
Ms. Smith, did you have a conversation personally with Miss Thomas about providing a driver to drive the car home?
No, ma'am. So
you did not?
No, I did not know Miss Thomas. What I knew
Did you
I had
know?
a designated driver.
That's not my question. My question was, you did not have any discussion with Miss Thomas?
No, ma'am.
About
No, ma'am.
providing a driver to go home?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And according to Miss Jones, she was dead drunk in the front seat of the car.
Yes.
So you have Miss Jones, who may know that you had a designated driver.
Right.
But she's totally incoherent.
Right.
And Miss Thomas doesn't know, according to you, about designated drivers because you never had a conversation with her.
Right.
Thank you. Sit down. You were wrong to drive a car without a license, whether she gave you permission to or not. You were wrong. You don't know whether you gave her permission to drive the car because you were drunk. And it is very possible that she got into the car and she said, "You ready to go? Let's go." And you said, "Yeah, let's go." That's possible. You can't tell me it's not possible because you don't remember because you were drunk.
Okay, can I just say one thing?
Mm-hmm.
She claims that she was waking me up all this time. I should have been woke.
Waking
me
up?
Can,
I never
can
said
I
I
drive
woke
your
you
car?
up. Just a minute.
Can I go and make another stop on 55th San Pedro, which is 2 miles away from my house?
People who want to act responsibly are not supposed to put themselves in a position where they're so inebriated that they don't remember what happened. Okay. That's what you did.
All right.
Now, Ms. Thomas didn't know that there was a designated driver.
Okay.
According to your witness. She is partially responsible for what happened to this car. Absolutely. You are. And if you think you're not, you're nuts. Because you were driving without a license. You had something to drink that night. And in addition to that, whether you say this car came out of nowhere, you had a stop sign. So you're wrong. When you have a stop sign and the car is coming out, you didn't see lights, you didn't see anything. That's not the car's problem. That's
the
your
stop sign.
You may have. Listen, stopping at the stop sign does not relieve you of responsibility, Ms. Thomas.
Well,
You're
I
not
did
supposed to. Speaking. You're not only supposed to stop at the stop sign. You're supposed to stop at the stop sign until it is totally clear for you to go.
Clear for me
Pay
to go.
attention. It wasn't clear for you to go because the car didn't drop out of the sky. The car came from someplace.
True.
You may not have seen it, but the car had the right of way and you did not.
Okay.
If the car hit you in the middle of the intersection, the car had the right of way and your car either jumped the stop sign or didn't stop long enough for you to see that there was a car coming in the intersection where that car had the right of way. So you are at least partially responsible. Now, did you have a deductible on this car?
No.
She had
no
insurance?
No. How did she know?
Just a minute.
I had liability insurance.
You
no,
too.
you didn't. I couldn't find, because I was drunk, I couldn't find my registration or insurance. Even I had liability. It wouldn't do us no good because we got hit.
No insurance at all.
No. Listen to me carefully. What year car is this?
87 Bonneville.
It's an 87, so you probably didn't have collision insurance.
I didn't have full coverage.
You didn't have. All right, now let me see the bill for the car.
Oh, the bill. This is a promissory note, because she pulled 2 knives on me, mind you. 2 big butcher knives. Talking about she's going to kill me.
Did I just pull the knife?
2 big knives.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
This was going months
Pay
and months.
careful attention to me. Put your hand down. You talk, I'm talking.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kaikisha Jones says former friend Tanya Thomas drove her car without permission and wrecked it.
This makes it easy. Is this a promissory note that you're offering into evidence?
No.
Madam, pay attention.
Okay, this is a note that when the police came, they made her write this note. I didn't ask for them to write this note, but they tried to resolve it, and they
This
said
was
to
May
take
8th. The accident was on April 15th.
This was going months and
Pay
months.
careful attention to me. Put your hand down. Are these your 2 signatures on this?
Yes.
Is this your signature on this?
Yes.
And this says on May 5th at 9:30, I, Tonya Thomas, gave Keisha Jones $100. I will be willing to give Leisha another $100 on June 5th, 2000. Now, is that for the accident?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, this was just, month by month or whatever, because she owes me $11.80.
For what?
Well, I needed another transmission for my car. The way we was hit, my car spun around and the transmission busted.
So is what you're telling me that this other $100 she was supposed to give you was not in full satisfaction of what you thought she owed you?
No.
Well, I'm trying to figure out, madam, exactly how much it was to fix your car.
$11.80.
Now, I see $206 and $350.
Estimate that the mechanic gave me, which is for another transmission.
I'm not dealing with that. I have this estimate here, right here.
That's a receipt.
$206 and $350. What was paid for so far was $350, which is all you paid so far.
Yes.
Where is the car now?
I parked at my dad's house because I had to take it out the shop. I didn't have enough money to get the transmission.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
All you paid for the car thus far, and the only estimate that you have...
This is the estimate.
Let me see that card.
I mean, he said he got his card, and it has the amount for a used transmission. I'm not trying to get over on her. I just want what's rightfully mine. That's exactly what he gave me.
Your Honor.
What?
She have my belongings that she had at the club. I have about $225 worth of belongings that was left at her cousin's house that I got dressed at. That I got dressed at.
Miss Thomas! You gave her $100 so far?
Yes.
Between what it cost, which she paid for, which was $350. Cost of a transmission is $450. That's for a used transmission. Does that sound right to you, Bert?
Sounds about right.
And then you have $250 for labor. She gave you $100. That's $950.
Okay.
And I find that you are 50% responsible for what happened that night. You placed yourself in a position where you could not responsibly get home. Put your hand down. You talked? You talked? I'm talking. You placed yourself in a position where you could not get home that night. I find that, right or wrong, since you don't remember, I take her for her word that she got your consent, even your drunken consent, to drive the car home. She had no license, she had no right to be in the car, and she did, in fact, either run a stop sign or did not stop sufficiently to see another car coming. So both of you are responsible.
All rise. Yeah, this is case number 283 on the calendar, the matter of House versus Sparks. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. You folks have seats, please.
Mrs. House, according to your complaint, you have a son whose name is Paul.
Yes, I do.
And the defendant has several children.
Yes.
One of those children is a young girl. What is her name?
Vanessa.
And Paul and Vanessa, who is not here, are friends.
Right, they were.
According to what I've read, your son was at home.
Yes.
And he wasn't supposed to have any company.
Right.
And Vanessa was there.
Vanessa wasn't there, the boys were there.
Our brothers came over, and you believe they stole money from you.
Correct.
And you found this out. You went over to the defendant's home.
Correct.
When you got to the defendant's home, the boys came back from a shopping spree at the local department store.
They had $100 worth of toys sitting there in a bag.
Well, you called the police at some point. Police came over and had a family conference. Is that right?
With my part of the family. The Houses were not involved in that part.
And at that conference, you agreed to reimburse Mrs. House
Yes.
for the stolen money. How much did you agree to reimburse her?
I was going to pay back $600.
And you did, in fact, make some payments on that.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And then you stopped.
Yes.
Now, Miss House, what makes you think that the boys, his boys, stole your money?
Simple thing of it is that when he was supposed to come over, I went ahead and I said, I found out who got into this money. They said, yeah, we did.
Who said we did?
One of the boys.
Which boy?
The oldest one.
Who's the oldest? Step up.
And said, yes, I had your money, and we're having fun with it.
And he said this in front of you?
On the phone.
Talking to you?
Yes.
Is that right?
No, I didn't.
What did you say?
When she called my house and asked if we had her money, we told her that we didn't know what happened to the money. First we lied to her, then we told her the truth.
First you lied to her?
Yes.
What did you tell her when you lied to her?
We didn't have her money.
And then you decided to tell her the truth?
Yes.
So let's hear the truth, starting from you and your brother. Which brother?
Both of them.
Both of them. Went over to Paul's house.
No.
You never went to Paul's house?
He was at our house. He was at our house with my sister. We walked to his house.
So you did go to his house?
Yeah, but he was at our house first.
Fine, he was at your house first. Nothing got stolen at your house, right?
Not that I know of.
And then you went back to his house?
Yes.
Why?
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Well, let's try to think hard. What did you leave your house for? Your sister was home at your house?
Yes.
So Vanessa was home?
Yes.
And they're friends?
Yes.
Vanessa and Paul. So I want you to think back really hard. Why did you go back to Paul's house?
I think it was to get some clothes.
What do you mean you think?
That's what we went there to get, is to get him some clothes.
Why did all three of you have to accompany him to get clothes?
He asked if we'd go with him.
Step up next to your mother. So you went back to his house?
Yes.
And what happened when you got there?
We were sitting on the couch, and then we asked if we could have something to drink. He said, go ahead, and we walked into the kitchen, and we were going through the refrigerator, and he opened one of the drawers, and he grabbed a screwdriver out of the drawer, And he went to his mom's room and popped open the door. And we went inside. And then my little brother went around the bed and he saw a box on the floor. My little brother asked what was in the box. He told us that his mom keeps their money in there. So he asked if we wanted to see it. And both my little brothers said yes. And he popped it open and he got money out and he spread it around.
Spread it around how?
He gave us each amounts of money, like $100, $200.
How much did he give you?
He gave me $200.
How much did he give you?
He gave me like 200, but like I got some more money, like from like them and Paul, and I ended up with like 500.
So you ended up with 500, and you ended up with 200?
Yes.
How much did you end up with?
200.
That's $900, right?
Yes.
What'd you do with it?
We went back to my house. First we went to Circle K and we bought some stuff like candy, and he bought some roses for my sister. We went to my house and he gave the roses to my sister and they did their kissing stuff. And then we all went to Kmart's.
And?
We bought stuff there.
Where's the stuff that you bought at Kmart?
They took some of the stuff to return it, and we didn't have none of the receipts. They went to try to return it.
You didn't have any receipts?
No, we got rid of them.
What'd you do with the money?
We spent the money that we had.
You didn't spend all $900 at Kmart.
Not all of it. Some of it that I kept, I had it hidden, and my dad went in my room and he got it. He went through my room and found it, and he gave it back to the houses.
Well, you only had $200.
Yes.
And is that the $200 that you gave back?
I did return $200 back to the houses.
Well, what about the others? They had another $700. What'd you do about finding that money?
I didn't actually really know about that money until I heard from the houses. All I knew about, when Paul came over with the money, all I saw was $200.
Well, now you know.
But
because your answer, Mr. Sparks, says, my children didn't steal anything, and I don't believe we owe them anything. But they did steal. Well, when was the first time you knew that they stole? Today?
When the houses came over and told me that there was $1,500 missing, they had brought Paul with them.
Okay.
And Paul's story to all of us was that the house got burglarized. And
everybody lied to cover themselves up.
Yes, ma'am.
But what I don't understand is, if you made an agreement with the police to pay them back, why didn't you pay them back?
I was on unemployment and I could not afford it.
Your boys hid the money in the house. Are you telling me you didn't get it from them?
All I recovered was $200.
Where's the money?
We gave it back.
To whom?
To them.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, because he had $200 hid.
You just told me you had $500.
Yeah, and I spent some of that. And we had some money hid in the room. And we gave it back to them.
No, he got the money from your older brother. $200 only. And where's the money that you had? You still have it hidden?
I spent.
You spent it all. On what?
We all spent it on just toys and stuff.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
All you knew was the wrong thing to go into your mother's room, didn't you?
They forced me to. I knew they had a knife right in their pocket. I beat my dad so he can call the cops so they won't try to stab me or anything.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Karen House claims 14-year-old Tyler Sparks, 10-year-old Nicholas Sparks, and 13-year-old Nick Greenland forced her autistic son Paul to steal money from her home. Karen says the boy's father, Marshall Sparks, won't take responsibility for their crime.
Mr. Sparks, you have to pay him back the money. I mean, you say I was on unemployment, that I can understand, but here you say my children didn't steal anything. They did.
I believe the money would have gotten stolen whether my children were there or not. The houses have told me that this is not something that Paul has not done before.
So what? What kind of a lesson is that? So you say because... Look, let me try to draw an analogy for you. I mean, are you serious with that response as a responsible parent? Let's say you pass by a store and the proprietor of the store has forgotten to lock the door. And there are things in there that you would like. A little stereo set maybe, a clock radio, maybe a small television for your kitchen. And you say to yourself, well, this place is going to get burglarized. Clearly, somebody's going to go in and take property from there because the guy was stupid and he left his door open. And if they're going to burglarize it, some stranger, I might as well do it first. You think that the police would buy that argument?
No, ma'am.
Of course. So are you going to try to tell me again that, well, the money would have gotten stolen anyway, whether my son stole it or somebody else stole it, doesn't make any difference?
No, I believe Paul would have stolen the money whether my children were with him or not.
But your children kept the money, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
And they spent it, sir. And you didn't make a sufficient inquiry at the time to prevent them from continuing to spend an additional $700. I believe he was involved. There's no question he was involved, right?
Right.
And you bought your girlfriend some flowers?
No. I went with them to Circle K, and I seen some roses, and they said, well, do you want to get my sister some roses? So we bought one rose, and I went ahead and fixed it up where there was a vase on it.
Paul, you knew it was the wrong thing to go into your mother's room, didn't you?
Yes, they forced me to get in there.
How did they force you, Paul?
They went ahead and said, we will split you and my sister up. And at that time, I knew they had a knife right in their pocket because they showed it to me before we went to the house. And they did not go to get some clothes. They went there to think of snooping around my house and go in my niece's drawer, my room, and tried to think of a way to get me open it. At that time when they asked me to open it, I beat my dad so he can certainly call the cops and report it why I'm in there so they won't try to stab me or anything.
Did you beep your dad?
Yes, I did. He did not answer.
Is Vanessa in your class at school?
Yes, she is.
How long has Vanessa been in your class in school?
Last year and this year.
Is your daughter in a special education class
Yes,
as well? What's her diagnosis?
Down syndrome.
And Vanessa is like your girlfriend?
Yes, she did go in the house before I went to their house. Because after we got from church, I was looking for tape and I did not want her to wait out there. I was being nice. And then when we got to his house, he asked me for a cigarette because I was trying to get my mom to quit, and I had some cigarettes in my room. And I'm trying to quit, though.
Do you smoke?
Yes, I'm trying to quit, though. And then the brothers went ahead and asked their dad, can I please go to Paul's house? And I was like, I did not have anything planned to go to my house.
Okay, Paul. Did you keep any of this money?
They put $100 in my pocket, but I did not spend it. I was trying to save it and hand it back to my mom.
Did you give it back to her?
No, they took it.
When did they take it?
Before I went to night church.
Was that the same day when you had all been in your mom's room?
Yes.
And they took the money back from you? Who took it back from you?
Lucas, the oldest one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Paul, why don't you sit down? Thank you.
Okay.
You getting the picture?
Yes.
You're not nice.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You ever appear before family court judge before?
Yes.
Was it a man or a woman?
It was a man.
Speak up!
It was a man.
Was he nice?
Yes.
Kind?
Yes.
I'm not!
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 17-year-old special needs student Paul House says his girlfriend's brothers forced him at knife point to steal money from his mother's home. The boy's father, Marshall Sparks, says Paul has a history of stealing money.
You been in trouble before?
Yes.
You on probation out of juvenile court?
No.
Were you on probation out of juvenile court?
Yes.
For how long?
90 days.
For what?
Burglary.
So you're on probation at the time police came to your house?
No, ma'am.
Had he completed his probation?
Yes,
when?
It would have been back in 1999, November, possibly.
You married, sir?
No, ma'am. Single parent.
You have 4 children?
Yes, ma'am.
These 3 and your daughter?
Actually, the middle child is like a stepson.
Explain that to me.
His mother and I are engaged.
Other than Lucas, have either one of these other 2 boys been arrested?
Yes.
Both?
Yes.
For burglary?
Shoplifting and burglary.
How much was taken from your house, Miss House?
$1,340
You got back 200
and $2.
So what your outstanding is $1138.
True.
You better pay that money.
He put me through misery.
I'm going to tell you something. Aside from the fact that your sons are thieves, to suggest that they are operating on an even playing field with Paul is outrageous, Mr. Sparks.
I did not intend to make that accusation.
Well, that's what it appears in your answer, sir. What you said was, I believe that Paul stole the money to impress my daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that's not true. They stole the money because they threaten someone who is clearly not as competent as they are. Stand up. Uncross your arms, both of you, and stand up. Over there. Right here. You reach a certain point in your life when you take your hands out of your pocket, don't even think about putting it in your pocket. Did you ever appear before a family court judge before?
No.
What?
No.
You?
Yes.
Was it a man or a woman?
It was a man.
Speak up!
It was a man.
Was he nice?
Yes.
Spoke nicely to you?
Yes.
Kind?
Yes.
I'm not! Because evidently, sir, that nice, kind, sweet family court judge made zippo impression on you. Because after you completed your probation, you went out and at least did one thing that I know about, which is this thing. So being nice to you didn't work. You got it?
Yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Seems to me that your father has a very full plate. You ever been arrested, sir?
Yes.
When was the last time you were arrested? When you have to think it's trouble.
It's been a while. It was back in, I believe, October of '98.
October of '98 is not so long ago. I have food in my refrigerator that's older than 1998. So it's, believe me, it's not so long ago. What were you arrested for?
Child support.
I'm not talking about child support. I'm talking about for a misdemeanor or a felony having nothing to do with child support, sir. When was your last arrest?
Probably February of '98.
For what?
Disturbing the peace.
You reach a crossroads. Sometimes you reach it when you're 10, sometimes you reach it when you're 12, sometimes you reach it when you're 30. You can either have a life when you're a bum. You know what a bum is?
Yes.
Or you can be a good person. Right now, 3 of you are on your ways to becoming a bum. You, and you. You victimize somebody, that's him, who you know you can victimize because you're not nice people. And you should be more sympathetic because you have a sister who is also disabled. Right?
Yes.
How would you like it if somebody victimized your sister? How would you like it if somebody, because of her disability, took her to their house and sexually abused her? How'd you like that?
You heard me.
So, you have a choice. And I certainly hope if you ever come before another family court judge, they don't do you a favor and be nice to you. They do you a favor and put you in jail. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of the complaint, which is $1,138. I hope you're very proud of your sons, Mr. Sparks. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The defendant was a pedestrian. Did you know him from before this incident?
No, I didn't.
Had you ever seen him before?
No, I didn't.
You were driving your car. According to you, the defendant came up to your car, broke your car window, causing glass to go in your face. You want him to pay for car window as well as for a rental car that you had to rent while your car was being fixed.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and where did this happen?
On the north side of town in Jacksonville, Florida.
Tell me what kind of roadway that is. Is it a 2-lane roadway? Is it 4 lanes?
It's a 2-lane road in a residential area.
1 lane in each direction?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, basically I was going down the road, and it's like a 30-mile-per-hour road. So I was driving, and I saw him approaching, coming across the street, and he really wasn't paying attention, so I kind of slowed down. I tooted my horn, and I pointed, to the direction of the sidewalk, like requesting him to go to the sidewalk. So he said something, but I really couldn't hear him because my windows was up. So he kept walking or whatever in front of my car.
What do you mean he kept walking in front of your car? Was he going from one side of the street to the other?
He was steadily walking ahead. He began to walk ahead.
You mean in the street where the cars go?
Yes.
So was he walking in the same direction you were?
Yes.
So he's walking in the same direction you were, but he's walking in the street where the single lane of cars going in one direction had to go, and he was walking. Okay, how much in the street was he?
I guess 3 to 4 feet in the street.
Okay, and he was walking in the same direction as your car?
Yes.
You tooted the horn. Did he turn around when you tooted the horn?
Yes, he did. So I rolled my window down. I was like, could you get out of the street? So he began to curse, and I'm a pedestrian, I don't have to move, or whatever other words he was saying. But I was saying, well, you still need to get out of the street. So it was a verbal, confrontation. So then a school bus came. So the school bus, because I was going to go around him instead of driving my car on the side, on the sidewalk and the grass, the school bus came. So the school bus stopped. The kids got off of the bus, so that he was still in the middle of the street doing this process. So then kids began to walk through. He was still acting irate and cursing. So then that made where I couldn't even go around because the kids had came to a complete stop watching him. So I was, after the kids that were walking towards the apartment complex. After that area was clear, I was going to go in the grass and go around him. So I rolled my window back up. I rolled to the side. He began to approach my car. So I couldn't just speed, in that area because of the kids that were walking, and he was up to my car cursing. But as he is cursing, I'm not even really looking at him. I'm trying to hurry up and get away from him, but I didn't want to hit a child. All of a sudden, he busts my window with his hand.
Which window did he bust?
He bust my driver's side window. So I grabbed my cellular phone. I said, now I'm calling the police. So he was cursing. So after, everything was clear, I just went ahead and went, blowed my horn, move, and I went because I didn't want him to further put his hands on me. As I turned the corner, I was calling the police, but the police was already coming. I flagged him down and told him that a person I didn't know had just struck my window, broke it, and struck me. When the police followed me back to the complex, Mr. Jackson was nowhere in sight. We found Mr. Jackson in the back of the apartment complex around other people, and he was just stating that I ran over his feet, his arm was bleeding. He said I ran over his arm. So the officer was ready to take me to jail. It was my word against his. The rescue came, and the rescue began to pick glass out of his arm. So then the officer was like, well, how did, she run over your feet? I see no tire marks. How did she run over your arm? I see no, where's the glass coming from? So he just went on, and the officer told me to be quiet and had me step to the side. So I really couldn't say whatever else he was saying.
Let me see the police report. You were not cited, Ms. Baylock, is that right?
Both of us were giving, in my city, we get yellow cards to go downtown to the state attorney's office. At the beginning, I was given the card because I was the suspect, but after the rescue came and was picking glass out of his arm, he became a suspect also.
But nothing happened with either one of those cards?
Yes.
What happened with it?
Okay. I went to the state attorney's office to file my complaint because I didn't know him, and, I just wanted to feel safe. I didn't know this man. I don't know, what type of person he was. Okay, we had mediation. He made threats during the mediation, stated to me that he was going to sue me, made other threats stating that when he got through with me, I would be nobody, I would be nothing. So what happened
with that mediation?
Okay, they closed the mediation because he was very irate, and the person that was doing the mediation was like an older type, senior citizen type person, and he was hollering too much, and the man couldn't speak over him, so we were supposed to be back down there. I received letters in the mail that he was suing me from my insurance company, and then I had several...
Do you have a lawsuit pending against her?
I have the paperwork right here.
I'd like to see that too. So you don't have a lawsuit pending against her?
No, ma'am.
Did you file a claim with her insurance?
I had not filed a formal claim with her insurance company. What I had done was I had consulted a lawyer who put in a request to her insurance company about this situation at hand, and that's as far as it went.
Okay, so your lawyer sent a letter, and the insurance company sent a letter that they were not accepting your claim because they say, based on information that they have, that you intentionally put your arm through a window. Now I'm going to look through the police report. Okay. Let me hear your version of these events, Mr. Jackson.
Yes, ma'am. On the morning, on the day that this thing occurred, I was crossing the street. I just stopped some kids from fighting. This was a school zone. Total school zone. There's a big school there. I crossed the street. I'm on the sidewalk walking down the street. I'm going to visit my son at his mom's house. All of a sudden, she pulls up on the side of me, blowing her horn erratically and waving her hands. Then she rolls her window down and begins yelling and screaming and cursing at me. I asked her one time, I said, "Who are you and what do you want?"
She's in her car on the street.
Yes, ma'am. And I tell her, I said, "What is it that you want from me? I don't even know you." At that time, she says, "Don't worry about it." And she speeds off. I kept walking down towards the entrance of these apartments. I didn't think anything else about her at this moment. I'm walking with a bunch of kids around me. Like I say, it's in the school zone, and the kids are just out of school. Right at the moment when I go inside of the gate of these apartments, all of a sudden I hear a car pull up behind me, and the tires are like dragging. At that time, she rolls her window down and yells at me, "Was there something that you wanted to say to me? So-and-so and so-and-so," just cursing me all out. I looked at her again, and I go, "I can't believe that you came back. What is it that you want? Who are you? I don't even know you." She says, "I should have ran you over before, and I will run you over now." So she backs her car up a little bit, cuts the wheels, and runs over me. At that time, when she hit me, the side of her car spent me around, and my arm went through her window, causing the window to break. I left there and went running through the apartment to go and try to get some help.
So according to your statement, Mr. Jackson, this person that you didn't know at all
Yes, ma'am.
was driving down the street.
Yes, ma'am, pretty much.
And for no earthly reason whatsoever, stopped her car at some point
ma'am.
to verbally berate you and then assault you. That's what you're telling me.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Jackson, She doesn't appear to me to be psychotic. She was coming from work, which I assume means that she wasn't drunk. Now, I want you to hold out your arm, sir, and show me where the glass was on your arm.
Where the glass was?
Yes.
It was around my
elbow.
Right.
Okay. And so you're telling me that she ran over your feet?
She ran over my feet, yes, ma'am.
Which the police say they saw no indication of tire marks or anything else on your shoes. I just don't understand how, if she ran over your feet, your elbow was injured.
It wasn't like that at all, Your Honor.
How was it, Mr. Jackson?
She pulled up behind me in the driveway of this apartment.
Yes.
She backed up, and when she ran over me, the side of her car mirror hit me and spent me around. Then she backed up across the street and tried to run over me again.
Getting better. Do you have a hospital report, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see it, please?
I've also had pictures.
I'm looking through these papers because you say that you were hit on the side by her mirror. There is no indication in the hospital chart of any bruise on your side, sir.
They didn't have any bruises on my feet either, Your Honor.
That's right,
But
they
I
didn't.
still got ran over by them.
I'm telling you, they have absolutely no bruises on your feet. None whatsoever.
They gave me x-rays at the hospital stating that none of my bones were broken, but my feet were swollen.
Oh, let's see if they say that. Did they say that anywhere in the hospital records?
They got it documented
Let's
on
see. Laceration was in your elbow.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't see anything about swollen feet. Didn't say you could...
It should be in there.
Well, I don't see it, sir. Now, the only other thing I have to ask you, Ms. Baylock, is, am I correct that at one point you actually drove your car up on the sidewalk?
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you do that?
Because I was scared of him.
It's dangerous, Ms. Baylock, to go
it was
up
dangerous for me to be, in that situation with him.
I understand that. You shouldn't have gone up on the
I feel as though I was wrong, but I had no choice. After he struck me once, I felt as though he was going to yank me out of the car or something. He was very irate.
No. He hadn't struck you yet when you went up on the grass. Hadn't struck you yet, according to you. You went up on the grass, and then he approached your car.
But, Your Honor, the reason why I tried to proceed to get away from him is because he was cursing and approaching my car.
Right.
I tried to get away from him before he approached my car.
She's not telling you what happened.
Cost of replacing your window is $179.75. Is that right?
Yes.
Your Honor,
Mr.
she
Jackson,
left the scene.
Mr. Jackson, she did not leave the scene. She came
left
back.
the scene.
Shh. She flagged down the police and brought them back. If somebody just runs over somebody's legs, they don't do that. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $179.75.
for my rental car.
And I'm denying that, madam. $179.75. You can replace a window in a half a day. You shouldn't have been up on the sidewalk. That's all.
Why does that excuse you? Step out.
My arm, I got 36 stitches, I got 10 puncture wounds, and I'm paralyzed from my wrist down to my elbow.
He tried to sue me for over $10,000. Basically, I don't have any money for him, but he caused those injuries on his own, and that's good for him.
I want to see my medical bills paid, and I don't want to see her no more.
And now the next case.
All parties on Leyva versus Rodriguez. Step forward, please.
28-year-old bank teller supervisor Sheindlin Leyva is suing 18-year-old Gabriel Rodriguez for damage to her car caused by a water balloon.
So you're driving around in your brand new van.
Right.
How many days old is your van?
It's about a day and a half old. I got it on Thursday night, and this happened Saturday afternoon.
Brand new?
Right.
And there are a bunch of idiot teenagers that, for sport, are throwing things at cars.
Right. We were driving down the road, and we heard two loud dents, and so I stopped the car and got out of the van to see what happened. My little sister said they ran this way. There was like a low block wall and an office complex. They started running into the office complex.
How many of them?
3.
And they were apprehended?
Right. We chased them. They ran into their house. I was on the phone with the police the whole time. We waited, and the police got there. They knocked on the door. Gabe had tried to, he jumped the back fence and started to walk off, but the police went and got him.
Now, you had damage to this brand new van.
Right. There was 2 dents in the side door.
And how much was the damage?
It was about $540.
Now, 2 of the young men, one paid their third in full.
Right. And the other one paid half.
And is paying slowly.
Right.
But Mr. Rodriguez over here says, I'm not paying.
Right. Well, he said he would at first. but now all of a sudden he says he's not responsible.
He says he's not paying because his balloon missed.
That's right.
And there were only 2 dents in the car.
Right.
Right? Now, what prompted you and your idiot friends to engage in this kind of conduct?
We had nothing else better to do.
Was that during the week?
It was on Saturday.
You had nothing to do on Saturday?
No, man.
Where'd you get a job?
Should do that.
What were you throwing?
We were throwing water balloons at each other for the day. And then we got tired of throwing them, so then we just lost them over the wall when we saw the car. And we hit the car.
Did you say we hit the car?
Well, there was 4 of us.
Yes.
And then when we threw it, I watched my water balloon, and mine went right over the top. And my 2 friends, there was 4 of us, and we threw 4 water balloons, and 2 out of 4 hit the car.
Okay. And you watched yours very carefully, and yours missed. So therefore, you're not responsible for the damage.
Yes.
Wrong! Let me see the estimate for the damage. You fool. Idiot. Maybe you can't find a job. 531. Make it 532, this change. Divided by 3.
$177.33.
Co-conspirators to commit the act of vandalism. That's what you were. Co-conspirators, right?
Right.
You mean because of the Earth's spin and gravity and luck, maybe your balloon didn't hit? You're not responsible?
I feel I'm not.
You still feel as if you're not?
Yeah.
Were you alone?
No, I had my little sister with me who's 13, my husband, and my baby, my 8-month-old baby, and my 4-year-old daughter.
So let's say, Mr. Rodriguez, that all you idiots threw your balloons over, a couple of them hit, the plaintiff swerves, hits a wall, and her baby is severely injured. Would you be responsible?
Yes.
Why do you think you'd be responsible if your balloon didn't hit?
Because I helped doing it.
Right. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $177.33. I just wanted him to see.
Right. That's why I was so mad.
Right. He may still not see, but maybe he does. Fool.
Yeah, definitely.
18-year-old fool, not 6 years old.
Right.
Throwing water balloons. 18 years old throwing water balloons. Get a job.
Thank you.
Why does that confuse you?
He'll drag her 30 feet with his car when she rebuffed his advances.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom. Now, this is case number 273 on the calendar in the matter of Jones versus Phils. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats, please.
Miss Jones, according to your complaint, you and the defendant, who were friends, got into an altercation in his car. You had called him to take you to some sort of party to see if there was anything going on that evening. He was nice enough. He came over and picked you up at your house, correct?
Yes.
What time was this?
It was about 12, maybe.
At night?
12:30, yes.
Had you been drinking that night?
Yes, I had, before I left my house, before he picked me up, I had 2 16 ounces of beer.
And so he picked you up, and what happened when you got into the car?
Well, when I got into the car, we were laughing, talking, you know, having a good time, driving. When we got into Dorchester, I said, so where are we going? He was like, we're going to my house. And I'm like, why are we going to your house? I want to go out. You know, are you having a party at your house? He's like, we're going to my house. I want to have some sex with you. He calls me Shoo Shoo. And I was like, I don't think so. You know better than that. I was like, look, just take me home. He got really upset, started like screaming, you always give me a problem, and you people this, you people that. Then he gets out of his car. He takes his keys and his cell phone, gets out of his car, goes across the street, and urinates. Then a yellow cab drives by, and he jumps into the yellow cab and takes off in the cab. So I'm like, oh my God, where is he going? He's gone in this cab. Meanwhile, I'm sitting in this car, you know, in the middle of nowhere. Because the argument went on for hours, Miss Judy, for a long time. It did, over this. He was refusing.
What, for hours?
Well, for at least like a couple of hours, because he was refusing to bring me home.
What were you doing, just driving around for hours?
Well, we were parked, yes. Okay. We were parked, okay.
And arguing?
Right.
Okay.
Arguing big time. So anyway, he leaves me sitting in his car, no keys, you know, nothing, in the middle of nowhere, in Dorchester on Bowden Street, which is a very high crime area, very dangerous area. So I'm just sitting there and wondering where he is. So finally I get out the car, I go around to the driver's side, and I'm looking like up the street to see, can I see a payphone, or looking down that way to see, could I see him? He comes back in the cab, and he gets out the cab. He comes, I said, Danny, look, this is ridiculous, just take me home. This is just absolutely ridiculous, please just take me home. He comes charging across the street, okay, pushing and shoving me all up against the car. He bit me in my wrist, jumped in his car. Meanwhile, I'm trying to reach in the car on the driver's side, get my pocketbook, and, you know, like, and trying to, you know, just struggling to trying to get in the car, because I'm like, oh God, he is not going to leave me out here by myself this time of night. Meanwhile, he gets in the car somehow.
You were outside of the car?
Yes.
Go ahead.
And my coat, my pocketbook, everything was shut into the car, and this man dragged me at least about 30 feet.
And then what happened?
I'm screaming, Danny, please, please stop, Danny. He heard me screaming. I can look at the thing and see that he was going like 30, 35 miles per hour. And I'm screaming, Danny, 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 please stop, please stop, please stop. He would not stop. Then finally he stops short, okay, and just drops me. Just drops me. Opens the door and just drops me. So I get up all, you know, crazy, you know, like I was just like in shock. And I went to a payphone. I dialed 911. I called my husband. My husband and the police and the ambulance, all three showed up at the same time. I refused the ambulance out there because I wanted to go to the hospital. I was just so upset, I just wanted to go home. I just wanted to go home.
So you refused medical treatment?
At that time.
So what are you suing him for?
I'm suing him for the injuries that I sustained.
Well, let me see the injuries. Where was your husband when you were going out partying?
My husband was at home. He knew that we was going out. He said that because I hadn't been out in a minute. I hadn't been out in a long time, so... And he said, go on out. He knows that Danny and I are good friends. Here's my medical records. And the instructions that I got from my doctor. Here's the sandal where I was bracing myself. He could have killed me.
Okay, so why don't you tell me your version of the events of that evening in July?
Sean Jones called me, and she said that, Danny, I'm in distress. I've been drinking all day. And I said, well, I think you have to stop drinking, you know. Every time you call me, there's always a problem with you. I said, well, I don't think I'm going out tonight because I've been working so hard today. I think I'm going to stay home. She's going to always call me to go out with her.
Okay, but you did go and pick her up.
Yeah, I went there.
What'd you go pick her up for if you didn't want to go out?
No, she called. I said, okay. I went there. She came out with big glasses of beer. I said, you're not going to drink in my car. It's not the first time I told you that. Leave your drink away from my car. And she said, okay. She finished it once. We went over my house together. We sat there for at least 15, 20 minutes.
Did you go inside of your house, sir?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And she said, we have to go to a party tonight. I said, well, I'm not going nowhere. If you want to go home, I can drive you back home. And she said, well, drive me over my sister's house. Okay? I said, well, no problem. And my way over her sister, she said, I'm not going over my sister's house now. I'm going over my house. I said, I'm not going to drive you all the way to her house because your sister don't live too far from here, only 10, 15 minutes.
How long did it take you to get to your house?
30 minutes from my house.
Okay, so you wanted to take her to her sister's house?
Yeah, because her sister lives in Dorchester.
Okay.
Not too far where I parked the car. She started hit my way, Joe. I'm driving, she tried to. I said, well, I have to stop. I said, what you want to do?
Come on, sir. What happened? You got out of the car at some point and you got into a cab.
Okay, the reason why I got out of the car, she hit me in my rear nose, my ear. I mean, I've been bleeding. I said, well, I think I have to leave you. You're intoxicated. You're not going to be able to understand me.
Why didn't you put her in the cab?
She don't want to.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You had a lot to drink.
I did not have a lot to drink.
Oh, yes, you did. If you admit to 2 16-ounce bottles of beer, it was probably a lot more.
That was before I left my house.
Absolutely. I said you went out, you had a lot to
night.
drink that night. Pay attention, Miss Jones.
And later today,
all the bridesmaids and I got together and went bridesmaid dress shopping. I told her, well, I don't have the money. I had 3 groomsmen and only 2 bridesmaids.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sharon Jones says former friend Daniel Phils assaulted her by dragging her 30 feet with his car. Daniel says Sharon started the fight because he refused to give her money for drugs.
All right. You got into a cab. Where did you go when you got into the cab, sir?
I went back home.
Did you call another cab, or did you have the same cab wait for you?
I told him to wait for me.
Just a second.
I have to travel. I mean, that was on Saturday.
You took the cab home, and it was about 30 minutes to get home?
From my house, no.
From where the car was?
Well, that's probably 20 to 25 minutes.
I'm getting a headache. You took the cab home.
Yes.
Then you told the cab to wait. What did you tell the cab to wait for?
Just to take my stuff. I mean, my bag, because I have to travel the next day to Montreal, because all my stuff was there at my house.
So you went and picked up your bag?
Yes, because I have to travel to Montreal. I have to drive back to Montreal. I have to drive to Montreal that day.
You had to drive to Montreal?
Yes.
Oh, you were driving to Montreal?
Yes.
Okay. When you came back in the cab, did you have your suitcase with you?
Yeah, I came back with my suitcase.
Oh, for crying out loud.
According to your answer, you try to pull her out of the car by her legs, right?
No.
Listen to me, sir. Let me read your answer. You say, when I returned to my car, Sharon was still sitting in it. I told her to get out because I didn't want anything else to do with her. She got mad and started punching my radio, which cost me $400 to fix. That's when I went around to the passenger side and started pulling her out by her legs.
She started punching in the window. She said, stop. This is my car. I can't afford another one. She said, I don't care. I said, the reason why you don't care because you don't work. You don't work. I mean,
you're having this nice, quiet conversation with her. The reason you don't care is because you don't work. It's in the middle of the night. By this time, it must be, what, 3 o'clock in the morning. You got 3 kids, right? And a husband who's home and has no problem with you going out to parties Friday night. He babysits for the 3 kids.
I don't go out all the time. It was just that night. I hadn't been out in a few months.
Oh. You remember hitting him?
I did not hit him, Your Honor. Honest
I don't think you remember anything that went on that evening, quite frankly.
Oh, yes, I do remember.
No.
Exactly.
No.
Everything.
Miss Jones, he had a scraped knee. That's what I see here. A very terrible scraped knee. You were out that night. You had a lot to drink. You got into an argument with him.
I did not have a lot to drink.
Oh, yes, you did. According to you, you had 2 16-ounce bottles of beer. If you admit to 2 16-ounce bottles of beer, it was probably a lot more.
That was before I left my house.
Absolutely.
That
I said you went out
earlier
without a
in
lot
the
to drink that night. Pay attention, Miss Jones. I believe that you hit him. What reason do you think he would have to leave you in his car? What kind of car do you have?
BMW.
What year?
94.
Nice car. What reason do you think he would have to leave you in an area that you say is not a good area, in his car that I'm sure he's very fond of, unless there was a problem?
The problem was that he wanted to, he was not taking, he didn't want to take me home because he wanted to take me to his house to have sex.
So get out of the car. What are you sitting there waiting for him to come back for?
I did get out of the car.
You were waiting for him to come back. That's what you said. You said you got out of the car, you were looking one way, you were looking the other way. You were waiting for him to come back.
That's right.
Why didn't you try to get a cab and go to your sister's house? She
I was
15
standing
minutes
out
away.
there, Miss Judy, looking, oh, whatever.
Something doesn't smell right, something doesn't feel right with this case. In any event, I don't find that you were dragged 30 feet. If somebody's dragged 30 feet in the car, they have more than a scraped knee. You did not want to go to a hospital, and when you went to the doctor days later, all you had was a scrape on your knee. You get more than a scrape on your knee when a car drags you 30 feet. Wouldn't you say so?
I had a cervical strain, a low back strain, and a neck strain. I was
No. That's what you said. That's what you told the doctor. You reported to the doctor that you had all these injuries, back and neck, but they took all kinds of other tests, and they found nothing wrong with you, except by your own reporting. You said, this hurts, and this hurts, and this hurts. The doctor wrote down that was the diagnosis. Take aspirins. That's what I'm telling you. Take an aspirin. Your case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She tried to get some money out of me, but she didn't get it.
I should have just stayed at home instead of coming on national TV making a fool out of myself.
And now the next case.
All parties on George versus Prescott. Step forward, please.
23-year-old cashier Linda Cross George is suing her former friend, 23-year-old teacher Rhonda Prescott, for a deposit on a bridesmaid's dress. Rhonda says she didn't have the money and didn't attend the wedding.
Miss George, according to your complaint, you and the defendant were friends.
Yes, we were.
And you became engaged.
I did.
You asked the defendant to be in your wedding party to be a bridesmaid.
Yes.
She ended up not being in the wedding party, and it's your claim that she owes you for her bridesmaid's dress.
Yes, Your Honor.
When were you supposed to be married?
We got married September 23rd this year.
And when had you asked her to be part of your wedding party?
Somewhere around January, the 29th, all the bridesmaids and I got together and went bridesmaid dress shopping.
Including the defendant?
Including her, yes.
And what happened when you went shopping?
They picked out the dress, which is right here. Everyone agreed.
Nice dress.
Thank you. The dress was for a total of $196. And everyone agreed that within a few weeks that they would put the required 50% deposit down on the dress so that the dress order could go out, and we'd receive them in a few months.
And?
And as of March 4th, when I went to put the deposit, to send out the dress order, Rhonda had yet to put the deposit on it.
Or was she supposed to do that to you or to the dress shop?
To the dress shop. She and I had talked previously, and she said that she was having car trouble, but that she would make it up there. She had the money. It was just a matter of getting up there.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You knew she was not going to be in the wedding
Pretty
party.
much, yes.
March, April, May, June, you haven't spoken to her. She won't return your phone calls. You don't even want her in your wedding party anymore, right?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Linda Cross George says former friend Rhonda Prescott owes her for the deposit on a bridesmaid's dress.
Did she ask you to go and put the money down for her?
No, she never did. She said that she would make it up there.
So she never asked you to put the down
No.
payment down? So that was sometime in March?
On March 4th.
Okay, so you put it down on March 4th. And what did you do after you put down her deposit?
I sent out the dress order, and I continued to try to get in touch with Rhonda to see what the problem was, if she didn't have the money or what was going on. I contacted her. She said that she didn't have the money right then. We made arrangements for her to give me even $10 a week to start covering the cost. And I visited her home, and all I got was excuses as to why she didn't have the money. So when the dresses came in, I felt obligated to buy it because I couldn't get the deposit back anyways.
So you bought it?
I did.
Did somebody else wear it to the wedding?
I had to eventually ask my cousin to be in the wedding because I had 3 groomsmen and only 2 bridesmaids.
When did either you notify the defendant or she notify you that she wasn't going to be in the wedding party?
She never actually said she wasn't going to be. She just stopped returning my phone calls.
When did you ask someone else to be part of the bridal party?
I believe it was about in August. It was about a month before the wedding.
And when had you finished paying off her dress?
I picked up the dress on June 30th.
And when was the last time you spoke to her?
Sometime in March.
So by June 30th, when you picked up the dresses, you knew she was not going to be in the wedding party?
I had a good idea.
You knew she was not going to be in the wedding
Pretty
party?
much, yes.
March, April, May, June, you haven't spoken to her. She won't return your phone calls. You don't even want her in your wedding party anymore, right?
I did, actually.
Can I see the receipt, please?
Sure.
Did you initially tell her that you were going to be in the bridal party?
Yes, I did.
And did you originally tell her that you were going to pay for the bridal dress?
Yes, I said I'd put the deposit down on it.
You did say that?
Yes.
Okay.
What I understood was if I didn't have the deposit down in time, that she would just forfeit my dress from the wedding party and I wouldn't be in the wedding. I even left a message on her answering machine saying that the night before.
Night before what?
That we were supposed to go back to that she called me up one night and she said that you never went and put your deposit down and want to know what's going on. I called back and left a message saying, well, I just told her everything that had happened, the car breaking down, and I said, well, if you don't want me in your wedding, I understand, and that's what I said.
I never got that message.
When she called you initially and told you that she had put the deposit down on the dress, what did you say to her?
I told her, well, I don't have the money.
Did you tell her that you would try to make payments on the deposit
No,
that you
I did
put
not.
down? You didn't?
No. I told her I didn't want to be in the wedding after she had charged it.
How much after?
If I remember correctly, it would have been 2 to 3 days after. I can't remember exact dates.
She never said to me that she didn't want to be in the wedding party because I would not have waited until August to try to find another bridesmaid.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
So this is the way I see it. I believe that there was an understanding at the time that you put down the deposit on this dress that she was going to be in the bridal party.
Yes.
But it was clear to you at the time that you picked up the dresses that she was not going to be in the bridal party. And if she was not going to be in the bridal party, she should not be responsible for the other half that you spent.
Okay.
Perfect. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $98. Thank you.
Now, this is case number 245 on the calendar in the matter of Bent versus Richardson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mrs. Bent, the defendant is your brother?
Yes.
And your wife?
Yes.
This is your husband?
Yes.
According to what I've read, you were living in a house that you owned.
Yes.
And you were moving to a new house.
Yes.
You and your brother made an arrangement where they signed a lease to move into your old house.
Right.
With his family. You were expecting your first child.
Yeah.
When was that lease signed?
Lease was signed on the 15th of June.
And when were you supposed to move in?
The 16th of June.
And what was the rent?
Rent is $550.
Can I see the lease, please? So you really rented this home with an option to buy it?
Right.
Did you, in fact, deliver the $750 security deposit?
Yes, I did.
Is that correct?
Yes, he did.
And you moved in when, sir?
I did move in on the 17th of June.
Is that correct?
No, he actually did move in the 16th that afternoon.
Doesn't make any difference, but the problem arose that the home that you were going to move into somehow fell through.
Yes, it did.
So that you said, fine, I signed this lease, I took you $750, but we're staying with you.
Well, that's not the way it went, but...
No, that's what happened.
Yes.
You didn't move out.
Right.
They moved in. You were supposed to move out by the end of the month.
Yes.
And you never moved out.
Right.
And you want them to pay rent.
Yes.
They did, in fact, pay rent in addition to the $750. For how many months?
He paid for July, and he paid the first half of August.
Are you still living there?
Yes.
Are you still living there?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. You have to move out.
We own the house.
Not for the next year, you don't. You leased your apartment to these people for 1 year.
Yes, Your Honor.
In consideration of that, they moved in, paid you a
Yes.
security deposit.
Yes.
I assume that you wanted this lease in writing?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
You insisted on that.
Yes.
So you wanted everything strictly legal.
Yes, we did.
You got to move out.
They haven't followed any of the...
You got to move out. I know you think that that's funny.
No, I think
you
it's
want
crazy.
him to pay rent.
He hasn't paid. He stopped paying.
Let me explain something to you.
Okay.
He's absolutely right. The fact that he paid rent for the entire month of July and gave you any money at all for September is terrific. He's a wonderful sport.
Not.
You got to move out and find a place to live. Unless you want to pay him out and say, listen, we have a real problem here. I'll give you $2,500 to go move someplace because we have no place to go now. But other than that, you have to move.
Your Honor, he has violated that lease over and over again.
No.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
want to stay in your house.
Well, no, we didn't. The house that we actually tried to purchase another house.
Yeah.
Not just the one that was the original house that we were going to purchase. And that house, because of what they had done to us, that whole thing also fell through.
What do you mean what they did to you?
correct.
What did they do to you?
First of all, his cat destroyed my home.
Oh, he didn't destroy your home. I read that.
Yes,
I
he
read that
did.
nonsense.
He did. I
Go
have
ahead.
pictures. He destroyed the home.
Go ahead.
He called the police on me and tried to have me arrested for assault and told the police that he was going to have my Child Protective Services to have my children taken from me, and he threatened my children.
That's not
Just a
correct.
second. What does that have to do with buying a second house?
Because what I'm saying is all the different things that were going on, they weren't paying the rent that they agreed to pay. He
You
agreed.
were living in their home, madam. I
It's
never
our
heard of such a
home.
thing.
It's our home. It's in
no,
our
it's
name.
not your home. That's what you don't seem to understand. It's not your home until June 16th, 2001. Then it becomes your home again.
It also states in the lease that if he violated anything that we agreed to in writing, that lease would become
You
null and void.
breached the lease the moment you stayed 1 hour beyond June 30th. You breached the lease. I never heard of such a thing. I mean, I've lived in lots of apartments. Leased apartments, right? Have you leased a lot of apartments?
A lot of apartments.
A lot of apartments? Did you ever move into an apartment with the previous tenant?
No.
It's not an apartment, it's a house, but he
It doesn't make
broke
any
it, too.
difference whether it's an apartment, a house, a co-op, a condominium. You own it,
Yes.
but you have given up, pursuant to this lease, your right to occupy it for 1 year.
But, Your Honor, the house is not paid for, and the house is also in pre-foreclosure because they have not paid. So
They're not
gonna
supposed to
take
pay
the
rent.
house.
You pay rent.
He's
No,
not
no,
keeping
listen to
his
me.
rent.
You pay the rent.
And we have.
Good. Then why should your house be in foreclosure?
Because he wasn't paying on the schedule that we agreed to. He didn't pay because he moved into our home without a job. When he moved into our home, he
That's
didn't even
not
have
correct.
a job.
That is not
yes,
correct.
it is. I
Hey,
talked
Miss
to his
Bent.
boss.
No, it is
Miss
not.
Bent.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's get it together. You breached the lease because of circumstances perhaps beyond your control,
Yes,
because you
Your Honor.
lost your house. But you can't expect him to pay rent on an entire house, which is what you're looking for, when he doesn't have the use of an entire house.
But, Your Honor, he does have use of the entire house. The thing is,
No,
him and
I
his
don't.
wife, look, yes, you do. Him and his wife and his baby, we've inconvenienced ourselves. We took our children and put them all in one room, him and his wife, and he told us
That's
they didn't
his
have
room.
anything.
No, no, no,
Right,
that's
yes,
his
and that's
room.
what I'm saying. It is his room, but he also has use of the whole house. He can cook and clean and do whatever, but, excuse me, he doesn't clean, so I take that back. He cooks, he has
Okay.
use of everything else. They haven't, and it also states in there that he's supposed to mow the lawn and all of that. My husband does that once a week. He doesn't do anything.
You live there.
That's right, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Let's see.
you're not listening to me. You're not getting it. You're not supposed to be there. You have to move out if that's what they want. He paid rent full rent, according to you, for the entire month of July. He also gave you $750 for security deposit.
Which is non-refundable, and he signed that. It does state.
Oh, he's going to get it back.
It states that on
Oh,
the
no,
first
he's
page.
going to get it back.
But what about the damage that he's done? The
I'm
house
not
cannot-
interested.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The cat was urinating on things, tearing up the furniture, tore up the wall, tore up the door. Yes, he did.
And later today,
Well, I paid half of it.
Why should she be responsible for $1?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Janine and Anthony Bent are suing Janine's brother, Gerard Richardson, and his wife, Maria, for not paying rent.
I believe that this cat baloney is just a lot of baloney.
No, ma'am, it's not. We have pictures of the house that has been done, and they knew this. We asked them when they first moved in, the lease clearly states no pets. They said, we have a cat. We said, you can bring the cat if you're going to clean up after the cat. They never did. We got into it because the cat litter hadn't been changed. The cat was urinating on things, tearing up the furniture, tore up the wall, tore up the door. Yes, he did. I have pictures of that. He tore that up.
Show me.
I sure will.
Show me. I just want to see the cat tearing up the door and tearing up the walls. And then we'll proceed from there. I don't see any walls here. I see scratches on the door. Is that what you're showing me?
Yes, and it was not like that before.
Baloney.
And this
Next.
too, which
And he
can't
broke
be
a picture.
replaced.
What else?
Also, he called the police on me and tried to have me arrested.
Because
for assault. I didn't do anything. What happened was I talked to him. I told him, I said, you know, the cat has destroyed this. This belonged to Grandma. You know, she's gone now. We can't replace this.
So what?
It means something to me. And his wife is like, well, if it was important to you, you should have put it up. No, your
Miss
cat
Bent,
destroyed
your lawsuit
it.
is dismissed for the following reason. You signed a lease. You became a landlord. You cannot live in property that you signed your rights away to for 1 year because you have a problem. You could have done several things. You could have taken your family and moved to another apartment. You could have said to your brother, I'm sorry it didn't work out. I will buy you out of your lease. You can say to him, I'll give you your moving expenses. You did none of those things. You just decided that you were all going to live together.
No, ma'am. We wanted to leave. We wanted to leave.
Could, and you
we
should have
could
left.
not. We could not. We tried to purchase another home. We just didn't have the money at that point.
She ain't getting it. She ain't getting it. Your lawsuit is dismissed. Now let's get to your counterclaim. You have a counterclaim. You want your security deposit back. Done. $750. You want your rent back, right?
Yes.
Done. Now the reason I'm giving you this money on your counterclaim is she ain't moving. You understand that?
I understand.
So you should have a little bit of money, which is what she should have done at the beginning, because she's not moving. She doesn't get it. And I can explain that 4 times. She still doesn't get it. She said, but it's my house. And I want to move, but I can't move. Lease means you move. You paid $750 deposit. You paid $550 in July?
Yes. And then it was $200 for the first half of August that I paid her.
Fine. So, on your claim for past rent, that claim is dismissed. On your counterclaim, I'm awarding you $1,500 for the breach of the lease. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He destroyed my home. He's put my whole house in chaos, and he gets awarded a judgment. His stuff is going out. When we get back, it's out.
She's got to be out of her mind to think that I'm going to pay for her family to live in a house that she was supposed to sell to me.
And now the next case.
All parties on Dennis versus Franklin. Step forward, please.
52-year-old company owner Tanya Dennis is suing her son's friend, 24-year-old salesman Michael Franklin, for expenses involving a botched car lease.
Miss Dennis.
Yes, ma'am.
The defendant, according to you, is a friend of your son's, who, even at one point, you allowed to live in your home. Is that right?
That's correct. He still lives there, Your Honor.
Still lives there?
Yes, he does.
We'll get to why in a minute. According to your complaint, there came a time when he wanted to buy a car. He asked you to co-sign. You must not have taken your smart pills that day. You agreed. Through some fluke in the paperwork, the car dealership did some sort of a bait and switch with the car papers. You turned out to be the primary.
That's correct.
On this car. The car was in your name.
That's correct.
But he drove the car.
That's correct.
There was some lawsuit involving this bait and switch with the paperwork. You won that lawsuit, and the car was eventually taken out of your name. But before the car was taken out of your name, the defendant racked up a whole bunch of parking tickets, let the insurance lapse on the car, which you paid for, had an accident with the car, and also you were notified that they were going to repossess the car that was in your name, so you made up the car payments so that they wouldn't repossess the car. So far correct?
So far correct, Your Honor.
Best as I can put together, the defense to this case is, he says you were both losers.
Definitely. Basically, she went to court because of their mishaps and their bad contracts. It set us far behind on payments, as well as...
So set who far behind?
Me and Melissa originally
Who's
were
Melissa?
my ex-girlfriend, who's no longer in my life.
Who has the car?
I won the case and had them take the car back because I charged them with fraud. They did take the car back, so that's gone.
Oh, so the car is gone?
Yes.
Why is he still living in your house?
Because he lost his job. That's how he got behind in his car payments. And I figured that when he got a job, if he didn't have to pay rent, he could pay me back the debt.
Right, but then I got put out before I can even settle into my job.
Put out where?
I was living there, and while I was busy working on a project, I was told that I needed to come and pick up my stuff because I hadn't been home in maybe a week and a half. When I went to go and pick up my mail actually was a suit paper.
That she filed?
Right.
When
and
was
she
that?
told me that she was just
And when
doing
was
this
that?
to protect herself. This was a matter of 3 months ago.
So when did you move back into the house?
Maybe like 4 days after I went to her, and I told her, I said that I always tried to assume responsibility. Before I took care of some tickets, I gave her money. She went and paid some of those tickets as well.
But you got a lot more tickets.
Yeah, there was a lot of tickets.
Well, why'd you get so many tickets, Mr. Franklin?
San Francisco gives a high rate of tickets, and I had tickets that I didn't even know about accumulating and piling up.
What do you mean you didn't know about them?
Well, sometimes you get tickets, and when you get there, they're not on your car.
Yeah, everybody tells me that, but not all those tickets, Mr. Franklin. Not $1,500 worth of tickets. They didn't all get lost.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I'm absolutely dying of curiosity. Why is he living in your house again?
That's a good question.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tanya Dennis says her son's friend, Michael Franklin, owes her for a botched car lease.
Who's supposed to pay that?
I was.
But you didn't.
Well, I paid half of it.
Why should she be responsible for $1?
Well, she wasn't supposed to be responsible.
But she has to be. Her name is on the car.
Yeah, but she wasn't supposed to be primary. She was supposed to be co-signer, which meant that we were supposed to receive everything.
Okay, so you're both losers because it's all the car dealership's fault. All right, now let's get to the insurance. You let your insurance lapse. Why?
It fell behind a month because I lost my job.
So you were driving the car without insurance, knowing that she was the primary.
What it was is Miss Melissa, right? She was the original person, and it was Melissa.
Just a second. She wasn't the friend of Melissa. She was your friend.
Right.
If Melissa came to her and said to her, would you co-sign a loan for me, do you think she would have done it?
No.
She came and co-signed the loan because of you.
Right.
Yeah. Now tell me about the accident.
Well, technically it wasn't my fault, but it ended up...
Let's start out with the not technically, sir. Was Melissa driving the car at the time of the accident?
No, she wasn't. We were no
Were
longer
you
together.
driving the car at the
Yes,
time
I
of the
was.
accident? And who paid to have the car fixed?
Miss Dennis.
Why do you think she should do that?
She did that because she was in the primary position in all levels, and she had to protect her butt. But I was in a position where I was going to be able to pay it, but I got kicked out. And because I got kicked out, I had to fend for myself. I have a little girl that just was born, and I had to survive. I couldn't be just sleeping on the street.
So why didn't you put the car in a garage? Or you could have sold the car.
I needed a job, and in order to work, I needed transportation.
Why is that her problem?
It's not her problem.
But you made it her problem.
But it wasn't on purpose.
Oy. All right. I'm going to take care of this case, but I'm absolutely dying of curiosity. Why is he living in your house again?
That's a good question. I gave him 30 days notice, which is 2 days from now, and I know he still doesn't have any money. And I'm a Christian. I just can't do it.
Where's your son?
My son is at home also. They stay in my back rec room.
What does your son do for a living?
He goes to college, and he's a music engineer.
What kind of work does the defendant do?
He right now is signing up people for long distance, and he's a rap star, a rap artist.
Does he work with your son?
Yes, he does.
Oh, that's what I thought.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What prompted you to file the small claims suit when you filed it? How long ago was that?
I filed it, I believe, about 3 months ago, and I went to court, and as the judge tallied up everything, the tickets kept coming in. At first, I sued for $3,500, and he said, I can give you the $3,500, or I can set it aside without prejudice, and you can come back, because by that time, it was up to $4,500. I refiled, and with the increased amount.
When did you refile?
I refiled, I guess, about 2-3 weeks ago.
Let me see the date of your filing.
I didn't bring the papers from that court. The only papers I have, court-wise, is my litigation.
Let me see it.
I charged them with fraud and breach of contract.
How much did you collect?
I settled out of court. They took the car back, and I had to make the car payment for that month.
But no other damages?
No, none.
Judge Judy?
Yes?
I really don't feel that I should owe her this money because she picked it up.
No, I don't think you should owe this money either. I don't think you owe her any money. I think that you sued the wrong defendant, madam. I don't see his name on the papers. I see Melissa's, Miss Dennis. The reason you're suing him is because he's in closer proximity to you?
That's not true.
I don't see his name anywhere here.
They wouldn't put him on the contract because his credit was so bad. So Melissa was supposed to buy the car for him, and they were going to make me the co-signer.
That's what you understood?
Right.
Even when you were there?
Right. No, well, no.
No, even when you were there?
When I went there, I thought that Michael was going to be
Get out
the
of
primary.
here, Miss Dennis. You're trying to pull the wool over
No,
my
I'm not.
eyes, madam. And I guarantee you're not going to do it. Your case
Judge
against
Judy,
this
may I
defendant
say-
is dismissed. You want to file against Melissa? You go and do it. That's all.
95 on the calendar in the matter of Crapo versus Hatch. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
You're Timothy.
Yes,
Crapo.
I am.
Who are you?
I'm his wife, Maureen.
Do you have anything to do with this case?
Yes, I do. When we got married, it became just as much my problem because it's...
Sit down for a minute. Thank you. Mr. Crapo, according to the complaint that you filed, you and the defendant had a long-term relationship.
Yes.
There came a point when you separated. When was that?
About a year and a half ago.
And at the time you separated, according to you, you agreed to allow the defendant to charge a dresser for
Yes,
her
I
bedroom
did.
on your credit card.
Yeah.
She did charge a dresser, and she paid that off. But then, according to your complaint, she went back and bought a whole bunch of other stuff that she has not paid for.
Not a dime.
Okay. When did she, according to you, purchase the items that she didn't pay for?
I got 3 receipts here, $426.99 at 10:40. Valley Hatch went in charge $141.13. 10:43, 3 minutes later, $997.45 was charged. Then, 11:20, probably before she even got home, she turned around and went back and charged $393.73.
What's the total amount of the bill?
Well, this comes out, when I first got the bill, it was 15-something. It was in 1 year, no interest paid. She kept telling me she was going to pay it off.
Okay, just a second.
Recent bill.
So when you first were notified of these charges,
Yes.
did you call her?
I didn't know how to get a hold of her, so I went to her work.
And what was the conversation?
She told me that she was responsible for it, that she would pay it off, that, everything would be taken care of.
You said something about one of these 1 year interest-free stuff. Did
Yeah.
she tell you about that?
Yes, she did. And she told me that she was giving the money to her grandpa to hold. And I asked her, well, why don't you just go pay the bill? She says, well, I'll spend the money that way. If he holds it, I will pay it off at the end of the year, the whole sum. So I kept getting these bills, no interest. It was 15-something, 15-something. Now all of a sudden the year's up, and now I get a bill. My last bill was for, now that they added interest, $2,398.01.
So what happened to Grandpa?
Your Honor, I borrowed money from my grandfather earlier before the relationship had ended. I paid back the money that I owed my grandfather, and my mother and my grandmother was trying to get me into some kind of fund as far as putting a little bit away a week so that I would have some money left over for myself. I never said anything to the plaintiff about that.
Sure you did. Miss Hatch, of course you did. You want to know why I know that you did? Because how would he have known that you were giving money to your grandfather?
Because, I'm sorry, Your Honor, when the relationship had ended, the plaintiff and I were still having phone conversations. We were still talking, and I was telling him about my situation with my grandfather. We were still on a personal level where we could talk to each other at the time.
That is completely wrong, because I was talking to her before I got the bill. All of a sudden I got the bill. I went to her work. She told me that afterwards. I went to her a couple times about it, and
So
she
why don't you
said
pay
she
for your
was going
furniture?
to take care of it.
Your Honor, through the 4.5 years of the relationship, we both established credit together. We worked. We shared mutual expenses. We bought roughly around $6,000, $7,000 worth of furniture and stereo equipment.
That is wrong.
Just a second.
And
I
Your
don't
Honor,
understand what your defense is to this.
My defense is we had an agreement that I could make these purchases on there. I left him.
You mean an open-ended agreement that you?
It was a
could make?
verbal agreement, Your Honor.
You mean that you could go and charge whatever you wanted to charge, and that he would pay the bill? That's what you're telling me?
Yes, Your Honor.
So then why, if you think that that was your agreement, why would he come to your place of employment to question you about it?
Your Honor, every time he would try to come in, I was either getting verbally harassed or physically.
That's not what I asked you, Miss Hatch. Don't try to think of an answer while making something else up.
No.
He came to your place of employment when he got this bill, and you had a conversation with him. And in that conversation, you told him that it was an interest-free loan for a year, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So he came to your place of employment and said, "What is this?" Which suggests to me that he was really surprised that in April you went and charged all this stuff.
He knew.
I about hit the floor when I got
just
the
a second.
bill.
He was surprised.
He knew
What,
that I
in
was
what,
making those purchases.
Just a second. In what month and year did you separate?
April of 1999.
So are you telling me the same month that you separated, you went and charged all these things?
Your Honor, when I left with the clothes on my back. Whatever we had established together in the 4.5 years was left behind. I told
we
her
didn't
that
establish nothing
Just a second.
together.
Now, just a second. Now I want to find out about that because I want to see whether there is a certain fairness and equity. How long did you live together?
4 years. She lived with me about 2 years with my mom, and then we moved out the last 2 years. The last 2 years, our relationship wasn't that good. She moved out a few times back.
Just a second.
And
let me ask the questions and get the information that I need.
All right.
Okay. So you lived together for 2 years on your own.
Yeah.
What kind of work were you doing in 98, 99?
I'm a union carpenter.
And how much did you declare that you earned in 1999?
$48,000.
And what kind of work were you doing?
At the time, I was waitressing in different restaurants.
So you weren't working all the time?
I was working all the time. Yes, Your Honor, I was.
And how much did you declare that you earned in 1999?
Well, on my W-2s that they send to you and then tell you how much you made for the year, on my W-2 forms, it only said that I had made not even $5,000.
So the year before, did you file taxes?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And how much did you earn in 1998?
I believe it was $9,277. I work off the tips, Your Honor.
In 1998, you remember that it was $9,277 in 1998. But in 1999, you think it was around $5,000.
I believe so through my W-2s from...
You said you believe so. It's just interesting that you remember the exact amount of your tax returns 2 years ago, but not last year. I just find that interesting. Don't you find that interesting?
Very interesting.
Well, yeah.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I think you did make these purchases. Then I think you went and got married and you said, hell with him, let him deal with it.
May I say something, Your Honor?
Sure. Make sure you don't get yourself into any deeper hole than you already are.
And later today.
It was late at night. I had crashed on the couch.
Is that because you've been drinking?
I had some to drink earlier that evening, yes.
He was intoxicated.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Timothy Crapo says ex-girlfriend Valley Hatch owes for unpaid charges for furniture. Valley says there was no agreement to pay back the money.
Okay. What was the rent on the apartment where you lived?
I paid all the rent and paid all the bills the last year and a half because she claimed that she couldn't pay her credit cards off of. So I said, don't pay me. I'll pay everything. You pay off your credit cards, and then you can start helping me with bills. Well, towards the end of our relationship, I loaned her $1,000 to pay off her credit cards because she wasn't saying she wasn't getting them paid off.
Just 1 second. Let me ask another question. Miss Hatch.
Yes.
How do you get to work?
How do I get to work? Through my automobile.
What kind of car?
I have a 94 Dodge Shadow.
That you purchased yourself?
Yes.
Pay insurance on it?
Yes.
Pay gas?
Yes.
You pay repairs?
Yes.
You buy your own clothes?
Yes.
If you made $5,000 in 1999, you weren't contributing to a whole lot of furniture, stereos, sets, couches, and everything else that it takes to set up an apartment, Miss Hatch. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So it sounds to me as if the plaintiff, whatever furniture was purchased by him.
Your Honor, I made tips. So the money that I come home with, that was the money that I pay all my car expenses, my rent, everything with.
You didn't pay rent?
She didn't pay rent.
You didn't pay rent when you were living with him. He was earning $50,000 a year. You were a waitress.
She
was
bought
not
nothing.
You were not paying rent.
Your Honor, he did take care of the rent. Yes, he did. I never said that
Electric, food, everything.
Your Honor, I
everything.
shared expenses with him.
No, you took care of yourself. Miss Hatch, your defense was that you walked out of the relationship with nothing, and you each contributed half of those items that were in the house. So as a result of that, the plaintiff said to you, go and charge furniture and I'll pay for it. Well, that sounded as if it might be plausible, except I don't believe you. I don't believe that that's how it happened. I believe that he told you you could make a limited purchase. You did make a limited purchase. You did pay off that limited purchase that you made, and then you said, I need a few more things. I'll go and take care of it. Then let me tell you what I think happened. I think you did make these purchases, and then I think you went and got married.
That's what I feel happened.
Then I think you went and got married, and you said, hell with him, let him deal with it. Because, oh yes, that's what happened. Because I see no other reason for him, if you had an agreement to pay for furniture for you, for him to have come to your place of employment, which you acknowledge that he did, to question you about this bill, which you acknowledge that he did, because of that conversation you told him, it's an interest-free loan for a year, don't worry about it. So you did clearly have that conversation with him.
May I say something, Your Honor?
Sure. Make sure you don't get yourself into any deeper hole than you already are.
I was harassed at work. I was physically harassed at work. I have photos of being physically harassed at work.
By whom? By him?
No,
ma'am,
every time me and my wife, she wasn't my wife at the time, she was my fiance, went into Angelo's, which is a club in Maryville, she would run into my wife. She told her not to come in there, would verbally attack her. That's what she's talking about. She verbally attacked my wife. What it boiled down is she charged money. And
she charged money.
She charged money.
She charged money. She intended to pay it. Maybe she intended to pay it.
Yes.
In any event, what is the total bill now with interest?
$2,470.88.
And that's exactly what you're suing for.
And that's what I want.
Judgment for the plaintiff. Thank you very much.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Well, I just want to start all over again.
Keep your guard up and don't give anybody anything, I guess.